entire this World Cup.
I think this is going to be probably one of the best ones. Hopefully we get goals, but this is going to be one of those where let's win it. Let's not just stay in it. Let's win it. Switzerland, we've seen lots of, and they do like to be organised. They do like to be compact. I mean, listen, we've been in 5 seconds and they've gone into a 5-4-1 already. One player up top, and Bolo stayed there, and they've gone into a 5-4-1. So organised. You can see their shape so clearly because we're right on the halfway line behind the dugouts, nice and high, and you can see their shape clearly.
So it is Colombia in possession inside their own half. As Mojica clears the ball away, the fullback up towards the halfway line, and Luis Diaz, the former Liverpool man, who has had the most brilliant season with Bayern and got the biggest cheer when the teams were being read out during the warm-ups here as the ball goes out of play for a Switzerland throw just inside their own half. Yeah,
I did see Luis Diaz as I was watching him warm up. The last 3 shots he took went into the top corner. Keeper's left, his right in the corner. So look out, Switzerland.
So Switzerland in possession, as you'll be able to tell by the boos all around the stadium here in Vancouver, passing the ball around at the back. They've got Kobel in goal, the back four of Zakaria, Elvedi, Akanji and Rodriguez. Ahead of them, Yashari, Sunderland's captain, and Switzerland's captain Granit Xhaka and Freuler, with Ndoye of Nottingham Forest and Reeder supporting and Bolo up top as the ball goes out of play for a Colombia throw on this near side, midway through their own half. They're being told to hurry up by the referee, but didn't take too long over it, and so they do still get to take the throw as Elvedi under pressure will steer the ball all the way back to Kobel, the goalkeeper all in black for Switzerland with the bright orange gloves and the yellow boots inside the penalty area, and under pressure he clears that ball straight out of play for a Colombia throw deep in Switzerland territory. It's taken quickly down to Luis Diaz, pulls it back and the delivery is in, and Switzerland can't quite deal with it. Arias, the former Wolves man, was in there. Switzerland eventually will clear. Akanji again will send it forwards to the halfway line and then forwards by Colombia out of play for a Switzerland throw. So Colombia with Vargas in goal, the back four of Daniel Munoz of Crystal Palace, who's had a brilliant tournament, Davinson Sanchez, the former Tottenham man, John Lukimi, Johan Mojica. Ahead of them, John Arias, Jefferson Lerma of Palace as well, and Gustavo Puerta, who's a really interesting young player. We'll come back to him in a moment. And then James Rodriguez, Luis Diaz and Luis Suarez. Not that one. Up top for Colombia as Switzerland have it at the back, but Gustavo Puerta got the nod ahead of their really experienced midfielder Richard Rios for this World Cup, and he's been one of their stars. 22 years old, plays in midfield and for Racing Santander, but he's a former Hull loanee as Switzerland have it just inside the Colombia half, and he should have actually spent this season at Hull. They wanted to sign him permanently last summer after he spent the previous season on loan with them, but because of their transfer embargo they couldn't do so as Zakaria comes down the right hand side, ball into the Colombia penalty area, but they make the interception, and Mojica, the left back, will clear it away. Elvedi makes the interception on the halfway line, and that ball will just about bounce in. Mojica went down, ball went out of play off him, but the whistle's gone. It will be a free kick to Colombia just inside, midway inside their own half. It's goalless, Dion Dublin.
Yeah, I mean, Zakaria there just flying down the right hand side, just flying past the dugouts, past the managers stood in their technical area, but Luis Diaz will not let him go. He's pulling his shirt, he's grabbing his arm. Nobody's going to have an easy game against Luis Diaz, especially today with the circumstances and the reward at the end of it.
So Vargas closed down there inside his own penalty area, but Colombia have worked it nicely, and in field now to Jefferson Lerma out to the right hand side, and will be collected once more by Colombia, and it's John Arias down that right wing looking for Luis Diaz inside the area. It was a good delivery. Luis Diaz raises his arms above his head and applauds as it was cleared away by Zakaria out of play for a Colombia corner, and after he applauded the cross he raised his arms and he waved it to the fans behind the goal, but he might as well have waved it to the entire stadium, which is pretty much all clad in yellow. Such noise here for Colombia. There's James Rodriguez, their captain, and as of today their record appearance maker, prepares to send this in from the left hand side. And Dion, I think I've spotted the Colombian radio commentators because there's a chap
maybe
to us in the gantry draped in a Colombia flag as the corner is swung in, flicked away by Brel and Bolo, who was back there, the Switzerland striker defending, and Switzerland eventually win a free kick over on the far side.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Vickery did mention before the game, Arias down the right hand side, he'll play, you know, down the right hand side mainly, but didn't hesitate that time. He got into the halfway into the Switzerland half, just left it in behind to hope that one of his teammates would be there. Diaz was coming on the left hand side, but if that's anything to go by, that Switzerland defence have got to have that line just right.
And it is the Switzerland defence who are in possession. Nico Elvedi out to the right hand side, and Dennis Zakaria ahead of his manager Murat Yakin, who is watching on the edge of his technical area, arms folded. You could tell at his press conference yesterday he was so frustrated by the injuries that Switzerland are having to contend with, as the shot inside the area from Dan Ndoye into the turf is gathered by Vargas, but the flag was up anyway for an offside against Ndoye on this near side, and it will be a free kick to Colombia just inside their own penalty area. But yes, one of the journalists essentially said to him yesterday, Murat Yakin, in the press conference, you know, you don't seem as relaxed as you normally are. And he essentially said, well, you know, if the players we think are out, then it's not going to be very positive for us. They do have Vargas, and so was the other one, who was the real doubt on the bench, but no Joan Manzambi, the young starlet, and they're without Arbisher as well as Jaquez. So this is a test for Switzerland as they are closed down by Colombia. Luis Suarez in the centre. Now, Luis Suarez waved his arm at Nico Elvedi to say get up. The referee has decided that that challenge was a free kick, and it is going to be a set piece to Nico Elvedi, and Switzerland midway through their own half in a central position. Luis Suarez now is arguing his case with the referee. He's having none of it, and a little low five between Elvedi and Suarez, and Switzerland will get us underway once more. Goalless, 7 minutes gone. Are we set for another thriller at this World Cup, which has given us, Dion, you and I were saying in the press room earlier here in Vancouver when we were watching the end of that remarkable Argentina-Egypt game, it has given us some corking matches, hasn't it? Some
brilliant endings, some great goals, some individual brilliance as well. This is the last one. What is this one going to throw at us today? But there's going to be tension, obviously, because there's so much at stake.
As Switzerland come down the left-hand side, it's their full-back Ricardo Rodriguez in field to Dan Ndoye. Now Granit Xhaka, Remo Freuler now will work it out to the right-hand side, and Dennis Zakaria controls and plays it back in field to Freuler once more, and now Xhaka. Ball was a little bit too far ahead there of the attempted pass. It will be the ball that goes out of play, and Yashari can't make the most of it, but Switzerland did get the throw, and it will be they who keep possession now in the centre circle with Manuel Akanji out to the right hand side and Remo Freuler, and again you can hear the boos and the jeers from the Colombian fans as Mbolo receives it back from Reader. Yashari then was dispossessed just outside the D, and Colombia will bring it forward down the left hand side. Here's Luis Diaz, the former Liverpool man, cutting in field, and will find that teammate eventually. Mejica will pick it up for Colombia and will swipe the ball in field to Colombia's Gustavo Puerta, the young, exciting 22-year-old central midfielder, playing at his first major tournament, and what a big player he's been for Colombia. In field now to John Arias as Colombia patiently work it on the halfway line. It's James Rodriguez now looking for options on the edge of the centre circle, does a little 360 and then will ease his way forwards, but Switzerland get the foot in. They can't retain possession though, and picked up once more by Puerta. In field they go to Jefferson Lerma and works forward now to John Arias as Davinson Sanchez will pick it up for Colombia. And again, we're seeing this, Dion, in the early 9.5 minutes or so. Both sides very happy to slow the pace of the game down and just try and pick those passes, which Puerta can't do, and Switzerland will bring it away.
Yeah, I mean, Switzerland are just dropping in and just saying, well, what are you going to do to get through us? And they're thinking about it with the way they're passing the ball, Colombia. How can they filter their way through this? They've gone through a bit of a high press now, which I wouldn't expect Colombia to do at all. Switzerland have played through it very well indeed.
Really nicely. If Yashari can hold on to that, no he can't. Really good covering by John Arias, and exchanges passes with Puerta and works it all the way back to Davinson Sanchez. So goalless between Switzerland and Colombia in this, the final last 16 game of this World Cup. Argentina awaits in the last 8 after another remarkable finish to a game here. 2-0 down they were against Egypt earlier today on 5 Live, and recovered the defending champions to win by 3-2. Out to the right hand side, Colombia will work it once again. A reminder, you can watch all the highlights on the BBC Sport website and app, and iPlayer as well. Catch up all throughout the tournament at your leisure as the ball goes out of play. Poor ball from the former Tottenham man Davinson Sanchez, goes out of play, and Switzerland will have the throw, and we will have commentary, of course, here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds of every single quarter-final, starting with France against Morocco on Thursday. We've got Spain, Belgium on Friday, Norway, England on Saturday, and Argentina against either Switzerland or Colombia on Sunday, as Colombia won't retain possession inside the Swiss half, and Switzerland make the interception. Out to the right-hand side they go, ball's out of play, and Hakimi will leave that for his fullback Johan Mejica to take. Mejica, who is named after Johan Cruyff, but pronounces it with a Johan.
Is that right?
Tell you what, it is, well, it's pretty cool to be named after a footballer like that, but it also says that your parents have got quite a bit of expectation for you.
Yes, I wouldn't be happy at all if that was the case. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that my dad was a bassist, not a footballer.
And you'll stick with Dion?
Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
So, Switzerland in possession, midway through their own half, goalless in these early stages. Fairly cagey, but so far Colombia, you would say, looking the more dangerous when they can get the ball to the likes of Arias and Luis Diaz as they make the interception just inside their own half.
Yeah, they're playing slower than what Switzerland want to play. Switzerland get the ball back and they want to play a lot quicker.
As Luis Diaz goes down and wins the free kick for Colombia. 2/3 of the way inside the Switzerland half on the left-hand side. James Rodriguez and Luis Diaz standing over it, although Diaz now just stretches out his right hand, palm to the ground, and says, "All right, captain, I'll leave it for you." John Arias comes over as well, but it's James Rodriguez who's placed the ball, raises his right arm in the air. It's a line of red shirts back defending for Switzerland on the edge of their penalty area. The yellow shirts of Colombia dotted in amongst them. John Hakimi, one of those up from the back. Luis Diaz is there as well. The tall figure of the former Tottenham man Davinson Sanchez. So James Rodriguez to swing the ball in left-footed. Great delivery, really good header away, but not out of the area yet. Colombia keep it alive, and that's a very good take as the ball sailed into the 6-yard box by Gregor Kobel.
And it's the quality of the ball in as well, because you can tell that it's a good ball, because Kobe came out, the keeper came out to go and collect it, and then he thought, oh no, I can't, as it swung away from him and into those yellow shirts that were attacking it. Nothing happened on that occasion, but with that kind of quality and with those kind of players attacking the ball, you are going to get on the end of it once or twice in a game.
Switzerland in possession with Akanji midway through his own half. Plays it out to Granit Xhaka, who looked for the run of Ricardo Rodriguez down the left-hand side. Early ball in. Colombia make the interception. Goes behind for a Switzerland corner. 0-0.
Yeah, this is good. And as I said, Switzerland do tend to not mess about in the final third and in the middle third. They tend to go through the lines really quickly. Granit Xhaka likes to look forward, get into the crossing areas, and as I said before the game, they will cross it because they've got big men in the box. There's 2 centre-halves have come up as well, Alvedi and Akanji.
So it's Fabian Rieder over on the far side to take this corner for Switzerland. As Dion says, the height up from the back. As Rieder swings it in, it's a decent delivery, it's cleared away by Colombia, and Switzerland commit the foul through Ricardo Rodriguez on the edge of the penalty area, and that will be a free kick to Colombia. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that one's just a bit of a nudge there on Rodriguez, just as he's trying to help it away from his own box. He gets fouled, but what I have liked from the officials through the whole of this World Cup is they've let the little bits of contact go, you know, the ones where the players might be not as hurt as they thought, not much of a free kick as they thought, and the referee has gone, get yourself up, carry on. I think that's been really a real positive of this World Cup. The officials have seen that players have tried to win free kicks and they haven't, and they've let the play go on. That's a real positive.
Yes, that particular incident was Rodriguez on Rodriguez, wasn't it? Ricardo Rodriguez on Switzerland, on James Rodriguez of Colombia. But I think, we have both noticed that, haven't we, Dion, as Colombia comes down the right-hand side, having the game being allowed to flow. That's a lovely back heel from Luis Suarez, and the ball forward, looking for Luis Diaz. Switzerland get a touch. Luis Diaz almost latched onto it still before Freuler comes back and thumps it over the halfway line, the former Nottingham Forest man. Flicked forward now by Jefferson Lerma, picked up by John Arias. Lerma will work it out to Daniel Munoz, now in field to Davinson Sanchez. James Rodriguez now outside the centre circle, trying to ease away from Yashari, who did well to get a foot in. Well, I thought he did well, but the referee said no, that's a free kick, and Colombia will work it out to the right-hand side.
Yeah, I do like the way that Arias just drops in alongside Lerma when they haven't got the ball, just to give them a bit more strength in that midfield. And Poeta as well as a nice strong three in there, very well organised in possession, out possession, very well organised as well.
And they work so well together, Colombia, as a defensive unit, as Jefferson Lerma turns on the sixpence inside his own half, and they work it back to the back line. They've only conceded one goal. That actually came against Uzbekistan in the group stage opener. They've kept 3 consecutive clean sheets at a World Cup for a first time, but they're so attacking at the other end, which is what makes that so impressive. They've had more than 20 shots on goal, Colombia, in the last 3 World Cup games. The last side to do that 4 games in a row at a World Cup, you have to go all the way back to France in 1998 for that 20 plus shots on goal in 4 games in a row. And as they have it midway through their own half with their goalkeeper all in bright green, Camilo Vargas, it just speaks volumes, doesn't it, about Colombia's strength at both ends of the pitch. Defending for Zakaria to do against the left back getting forward, Johan Mojica, and he does it well. It's a Switzerland goal kick.
Yeah, it's a very cagey start, this one. It's not surprising, and they're both trying to find their own way of making, inroads into their opponent. I mean, Jefferson, Arias and Poeta, as I've mentioned, are trying to get the ball into Suarez as much as they possibly can, but Xhaka and Freuler are kind of just sat in front of the 2 centre halves, making it difficult and forcing them to find other ways through that defence.
Well, Xhaka has just split the difference between 2 of his teammates, Ricardo Rodriguez and Tannen Doy, with that ball straight out of play for a Colombia throw.
Yeah, he's seen something, but that something wasn't there. Straight out of play, 2 yards away from his teammate, down the left-hand side.
So Colombia in possession, with the ball just outside their own penalty area. And as their manager, Néstor Lorenzo, the Argentinian, stands with his hands clasped behind his back in his dark jacket on the edge of his technical area as the ball goes out of play for a Colombia throw. Led them to runners-up at Copa America 2024. They lost to Argentina after extra time in the final, and I think that's one of the quirks of this draw, and the fact of Argentina with that late comeback victory over Egypt getting through. That is who awaits in the quarter-final. So if Colombia make it, it'll be a rerun of the Copa America final a couple of years ago. If Switzerland make it, well, that will be their 2nd World Cup quarter-final and their first since 1954. Out to the right-hand side go Colombia, who are just about shading it at the moment, although as Dion Dublin says here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, it's a cagey start, it's the 10th start. It's a very even game and it's goalless. As Colombia work it to Lukumi on the halfway line, and infields to Jefferson Lerma out to the left-hand side, and Puerta. And Mojica will pick it up now, the left back getting forward as he loves to do. Infield now to Luis Diaz, who's dropped deep to receive possession. Headed forward by James Rodriguez, who popped up on the right-hand side there, in looking for John Arias, but should be cleared away by Tannen Doy. Almost got himself into a bit of trouble there. Well closed down by James Rodriguez. Switzerland are playing it around their own penalty area. A little bit of hesitation there between Alvedi and the goalkeeper, Gregor Kobel, but Kobel in the end with the emphatic clearance over the halfway line. But Colombia pick it up again, and Switzerland at the moment just can't keep hold of it, Dion.
No, they can't. I mean, they're being forced to go long, and it's just not working for them. Mbolo up there trying to get the ball down, but he's got Sanchez, who has his number at the moment, knocking it down to his teammate and playing again. Being really patient, Colombia, and having to be actually, because there isn't an awful lot of space in the final third that they're trying to attack.
And that's what they're trying to do now, as Jefferson Lerma and Davinson Sanchez exchange passes, but they'll work it back now to Lerma on the halfway line. But I'm just watching James Rodriguez. I mean, he is popping up absolutely everywhere. He hasn't lasted the full 90 in any of Colombia's games here. 34 years of age, has really struggled with illness this season. But you can just see why the Colombia fans love him so much, because he shines. He shines on the stage when Colombia give him the opportunity. A little miscontrol there, then slid in. Whistle doesn't go, referee's allowed play to continue, and Colombia have worked it really nicely. It's Puerta, into the box, goes for the curler and beaten away by Kobel. That was a gorgeous move from Colombia, one-touch passing. They worked it so beautifully. It's a decent curling effort from Puerta and a good save from Kobel.
Yeah, Puerta's looking for the top left-hand corner. A little bit messy in the middle of the park. Finds Puerta, corner of the box, left-hand side, tries to steer it in. The goalkeeper's top left-hand corner, the right as he looks. And the keeper scrambles, quick feet, and he gets both hands to it. Out for a corner, but it's a lovely effort as well.
Well, he does like to go for goal from range, Gustavo Puerta, this young midfielder. He's been one of their breakout stars of the World Cup, Colombia. And he is a man who's been a star for them on the big stage for a long time. James Rodriguez swings it in, it's cleared away by Switzerland and helped out of the penalty area on the edge of the box by Dan and Doy. Reed is going to try and put a bit of pressure on that Colombia back line, but Colombia have worked it well and they will build once again. But they are on top at the moment, approaching the midway point of the first half. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0, here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, as Davinson Sanchez has it in the centre circle.
Yeah, they're just allowing Colombia to have the ball. They've had most of the ball, Colombia, in the middle third of the pitch, just trying to find ways through these red shirts. Granit Xhaka in the centre of the pitch, in the centre circle like he always is, pointing and making sure that his red-shirted players are in the right place.
Well, the game, although good, hasn't quite burst into life yet, but I tell you what, the Colombia fans in the stands have already started the party. There's a huge section of them away to our right here in Vancouver, bouncing up and down. And now their bounces are rather curtailed as Switzerland come forward, and now they wave the flags again as Colombia come forward, and now they're curtailed once more. And the flags droop down as Switzerland win possession once more and have it in the centre circle. Goalless.
It is. If you could play, if you could play chess, this is how you play chess as a football team. You play chess just like this. It's move and then you wait, and then there's another move by the opponent, and then you wait again, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to find your way through and make the killer move.
Well, what are becoming the customary few jeers as the hydration break for the first half is announced. But game of chess then, Dion, this is what this feels like.
Yeah, it does, because they've both got their separate ways of playing. Switzerland trying to get it quick earlier, Colombia being really, I don't know, slow, a little bit slow and laborious, trying to get it to Rodriguez and Suarez and Luis Diaz down the left-hand side. But it is very much an even Steven game so far, in their own way. It has to open up though.
So, goalless here, midway through the first half. Let's head back to Wimbledon, and Gigi Salmon can bring us the latest.
Quarter-final stage on centre court. Novak Djokovic, 7-time Wimbledon champion, against the Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. Now Djokovic, after 3 hours and 45 minutes of play, leads Auger-Aliassime by 2-1. He had the early break in the fourth. Auger-Aliassime broke back, and they have been locked in and level since then. As things stand, Djokovic is serving at 30-love, 4-5 in the fourth, with Jannik Sinner awaiting the winner in Friday's semi-finals.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's bring in our South American football expert, Tim Vickery. Tim, game of chess, is that how you've seen it, like Dion, so far?
Yeah, although I've never seen a chess piece produce the save that the Swiss goalkeeper did there to deny Gustavo Puerta. Colombia easing their way nicely into the game. The key idea is they can't get caught with a front three ahead of the line of the ball. So either Rodriguez or Luis Suarez or Luis Diaz, one of them is always coming back. It's interesting when Rodriguez drops deep because he can thread through passes. They're advancing as a block. They're beginning to dominate territory, and I think they'll probably, Dion, I don't know if you agree, I think Colombia will be the happier of the two sides at this first water break.
Yeah, I'd agree, Tim. They seem to have more control. Switzerland are trying to find their way through with possibly long balls and hopeful balls, and then it gets cut out. But yeah, I think Colombia have just tried to play the game in the right way, a little bit slower than I'd like them to, but they're just trying to figure out a way. But yes, I've got to say, that was some save, by the way. Real amazing save.
Tim, thank you so much. We will speak to you at half-time. Granit Xhaka, the Switzerland captain, is down there, very animated indeed, and both goalkeepers have come up to join the huddles, and it's so interesting, this, isn't it? I mean, we see this with Granit Xhaka, we've seen it at Arsenal, we've seen it at Sunderland throughout his career. Murat Yakin, the manager there, is almost just on the edge of the huddle. He's allowing Xhaka to do all the chat, and to be fair, you know, he may have done a bit more speaking that we couldn't see during the hydration break, but certainly as Switzerland prepare to come back out for this second period of the first half, it was Granit Xhaka who was certainly leading the charge there.
It was, and very much, judging by the body language, very much a, come on, we're better than this, I want you to do this, you should be doing this, come on. So his arms are being thrown all over the place, and you can see all those Switzerland players there listening in, not saying a word.
So Switzerland to get us back underway. He's had an interesting tournament, Xhaka. He was openly critical of the team in the press after they drew with Qatar in their opener. Then there were reports in the Swiss media that some players found him toxic. Then when he scored a late penalty against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the next game, he did a kind of speaking celebration where he snapped his fingers together as if to say, look, I'm not listening to the noise. But look, Granit Xhaka's not going to change for anybody. He is the captain. It's his right to go and read the riot act, as it were, to the players if he feels that's what needs doing. But I think Tim Vickery, our South American expert, is right. Colombia so far will be the more pleased with this last 16 tie so far, but it is goalless as Switzerland have it on the right hand side, still midway inside their own half as Zakaria plays it back to Nico Elvedi. And just looking away to my right, producer Rob has spotted here, can you see, Dion, in the right hand side in the second tier, yes, there is a Canada banner, but it's in the colours of Colombia. So the Colombia fans, either it's Canadians that are supporting Colombia, or it's the Colombia fans who've come and tried to get the hosts or the co-hosts on board as well. As the whistle goes, it's a foul on the aforementioned Granit Xhaka and a free kick to Switzerland just inside their own half.
Nice touch, regardless of which way it is, it's a nice touch. See the hosts get a bit of support as well. I mean, this crowd is, honestly, I've never seen it as much one-sided as I mean, it's just a little strip. You know, you get the second tier of a stadium and you get stairs going up, and it's just one section in between stairs.
Zakaria, ball into the area, almost found Yashari. Oh, that would have been a brilliant opening for Switzerland, but Yashari couldn't latch onto it, and it's cleared away by Colombia. But just a warning for Colombia that Switzerland do have the quality to pick you apart, and they almost did so there as Xhaka sends it out to the left-hand side, and Ricardo Rodriguez. Yashari back to his captain, Xhaka once more, works it out to Yashari. Switzerland easing their way through the Colombia half, and the yellow shirts back defending as Freuler goes past a couple of players, plays it to Mbolo, back to Reeder, who then played it behind Yashari, who did really well to keep hold of that and invites the sliding challenge as he tried to slide it through to Dan Ndoye of Daniel Munoz, who sent it out for a Switzerland throw, goalless.
Yeah, they're going down the left-hand side. Switzerland, Zakaria on this right-hand side, he's got so much space, but nobody's lifted their head to look down the right-hand side for Switzerland. He's there, heels on the line, and by the time you get the ball to him, he's already being marked. So that switch of play is definitely on from left to right for Switzerland. And Zakaria down the right-hand side, touch and cross.
Xhaka draws another foul, and Switzerland have the set piece inside the centre circle. Here is Freuler. Good little spare possession this for the Swiss, but Camilo Vargas in the Colombia goal has had very little to do so far as Elvedi works it out to the left-hand side, and Manuel Akanji, lovely ball to find Reeder, a nice turn as well midway through the Colombia half, central position, but then just overran it, cleared away by Munoz, bounces back to Reeder, gets the shot away, well saved by Vargas and cleared away by Mexico. Well, he had something to do there, Vargas, and he did it well.
Brilliant, great ball from Akanji though, I've got to say, through the lines from in his own half, into the centre of Colombia's half. Great passing that to Ryder.
And Doy heads the ball from Freuler back across, and that was more straightforward for Vargas, as he claims, inside his own 6-yard box.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Switzerland have to do that now. They're going to have to be a little bit more potent if they want to get through this round. Against this Colombian side, they've had more of the possession. Great ball in, nice and positive. 1 and 2 touch in and around the box, really gets a chance on goal.
Good defending at the other end by Manuel Akanji. Just inside the penalty area, sends it out to the right, and Nico Elvedi, and he will advance towards the halfway line. In field now to Granit Xhaka, who again is just the starting point of all these Switzerland attacks so often, as Ricardo Rodriguez has it on the left and plays it in field to Xhaka once more, who picks the pass back to Rodriguez, well close down by Munoz, who got a foot in. And Xhaka will pick it up on the halfway line and steers it back to Akanji once more. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0 in this final last 16 tie of this summer's World Cup. As Elvedi has it in the centre circle again, slows play to a halt, as both sides have done at times so far, as Ricardo Rodriguez is dispossessed and Colombia will try and bring it forward, but James Rodriguez can't initially keep hold of it, then does well to win it back, cleared away by Davinson Sanchez, and the whistle's gone for a foul on James Rodriguez as he played that ball back to his defence, and it will be a free kick to Colombia just inside their own half, 0-0.
Yes, I mean, I don't know why Switzerland aren't lifting their head up, because they've got so much space down this right-hand side. Every time they get the ball, they look left. Granit Xhaka's on that left-hand side as well, whether he's forcing them to go down there. They've got to switch that play. They've got a great chance of getting some danger in the box and some quality in the box if they do that quicker. And
they've stolen it on the halfway line, and Yashari's played it forward. It's Ndoye! Early shot on the angle, smothered by Camilo Vargas.
Great strike on the half volley, and Ndoye just gets into the box and tries to strike it across the keeper into the far post. Not a problem for Vargas, down to his left.
Well, we've seen this, haven't we, Dion, as Colombia clear that ball long, and Elvedi just clears it back to Gregor Kobel, who was then barged into by Luis Suarez. But that's something that Murat Yakin, the Switzerland manager, said before this game. We've got to match Colombia's energy and not be provoked by them. We're expecting an aggressive game, and there was a little bit of aggression there from Luis Suarez, but interesting that Yakin pulled that out in the press conference. Clearly that's a message that they'll have given to the Swiss side. Don't let yourselves get wound up.
Don't get sucked in by that contact. It's a tactic.
Here comes James Rodriguez for Colombia. Did really well to squeeze that to Puerta, and now Luis Diaz inside the box, tried to curl it to that far bottom corner. It's blocked away. Luis Diaz out of the penalty area now, will pick it up once again for Colombia, plays it forward. Puerta picks it up, left hand side of the penalty area. Diaz has made the run into the box, but Puerta instead will go central to Jefferson Lerma. And now James Rodriguez chips the ball into the area. Luis Diaz went down. Didn't look like there was much in that, and the referee agrees, and no real appeals from the former Liverpool man. And it is a goal kick to Switzerland. But Dion, apart from that little last minute or so, we've said this so much about the World Cup, haven't we? The hydration breaks can often provide a shift in momentum, and it seemed before that little spell there for Colombia to have provided it for Switzerland.
Yeah, just a little bit of a boost there for a couple of minutes for Switzerland, where they had a bit of the ball and a little bit of joy as well. Haven't got the ball into Mbolo half as much as they should. He's trying to find space away from those two powerful centre halves. And he's not had the ball. Sometimes as a centre forward you do that and you stop making those runs because you're not getting it. He's got to keep doing it, and they've got to find him.
Here is Yashari for Switzerland, goalless here in Vancouver on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, as Ricardo Rodriguez plays the ball into the area. There was nobody really in there other than Mbolo, and it didn't reach him. Zakaria trying to make the block, and it will go behind for a Colombia goal kick. Dion Dublin.
Even though we haven't got any goals and there's not been lots of goal-mouth action, we've had a couple of decent saves from the keepers, but it is really difficult when you're in this situation. You've got something. At the moment, you're in this game. You're not a goal down. You're in it. You've got every opportunity to win it. You just don't want to make any mistakes, and it's being played like that at the moment.
Colombia in possession with James Rodriguez on the halfway line, in field to John Arias. Has the runners ahead of him and tries to find one of them, but really good interception by Nico Elvedi. to prevent that ball being slid through to Luis Diaz as Switzerland come forward. Yashari looking to release down Ndoye. That's a good ball, and Ndoye's going to get there down the left-hand side. Good challenge on the far side by Jefferson Lerma, the Crystal Palace man, on the Nottingham Forest player. And it's in field now to Gustavo Puerta, who plays it out to the right-hand side. And James Rodriguez, like Xhaka, the number 10 for Switzerland, Colombia's number 10, orchestrating so much of the springboard for these moves that Colombia are trying to work. This time down the right-hand side with Luis Suarez. In field to Puerta once more. And now Mojica on the edge of the centre circle. The left-back coming into that central midfield position. And lays it off once more to Gustavo Puerta. As Colombia play the ball around on the halfway line, still goalless, 10 minutes to go until half-time. As James Rodriguez picks it up again, and that's a lovely run by Munoz into the penalty area. Blocked away was the cross by Switzerland once more, and now the offside flag goes up anyway against Munoz. But we haven't really seen him get forward too much in this game so far, but we know, and Palace fans listening to us will know, how dangerous he is when he does.
Yeah, Munoz just literally just ghosting in behind Rodriguez there, and his run was half a second too early. Otherwise he was in. If you make runs in and around Rodriguez, he'll find that left foot's a bit of a wand, and he'll find his way to get the ball to you. So if he can get people around him making runs, they will create more chances.
Kobel clears long for Switzerland. The goalkeeper over the halfway line, cleared away by Davinson Sanchez, and Lukumi will pick it up once more for Colombia. Switzerland, all in red, get back in shape, playing from left to right in this first half. They are coming here on the wave of a bit of momentum, Switzerland, in terms of history. Their last match against Algeria was their first World Cup knockout stage win since 1938, for 88 years. Of course, we have the last 32, so it is different for the first time at this World Cup. But it's also the first time they've scored more than one goal in a World Cup knockout match since 1954. That's when they lost to Austria 7-5 in the quarter-finals, which remains the highest scoring match in World Cup history. As Switzerland have it over on the left-hand side with Ricardo Rodriguez. In field now to Remo Freuler, as the Colombia fans inside the stadium raise their voices and boo once again. And the Switzerland fans away to our left, that little pizza slice of red in the second tier, are waving and singing and clapping and trying to make their voices heard above the jeers as their side have possession midway inside their own half. It's goalless.
It is, yeah, and it feels like it's a goalless half, or it's going to be a goalless half. We've got about 8 minutes left in this half. Trying to find the opening.
As Colombia steal it in field from Luis Diaz, and he'll get it back almost once more, but again, really good covering by Elvedi. The play's been called back though, because Luis Suarez was fouled just outside the centre circle for Colombia, and it's going to be a free kick to, I was almost going to say the home side there, but it's not the home side, but I've been distracted
by the yellow.
by the yellow, which makes it feel like a home match for Colombia, even though we are here in Vancouver in Canada. As Colombia prepared to take this set piece. And we have to say, Dion, as well, in terms of the conditions, it's low 20, so it's not the hottest. But again, as for all the games here at BC Place in Vancouver, they've got this enormous white roof closed, and it does make it quite muggy and quite humid inside the stadium as Colombia have the ball inside their own penalty area.
It is, yeah, it's incredibly hot up here. I mean, we're not feeling the sun at all, obviously, through the roof, but the heat, which is just stagnant here. It is really, really clammy up here. Down on the pitch, I would imagine it's even hotter for them.
Alvedi makes the interception. Akanji then messes up his clearance, and James Rodriguez have it, and they back off. That's not a good idea. Here is Luis Suarez now, edge of the D, goes for the curler, blocked away by Freuler. They've done really well at blocking deliveries and shots in the box, Switzerland, but Colombia have it once again just inside the Swiss half. Here is Jefferson Lerma out to the right hand side, and James Rodriguez popping up on the right wing now. Again, he's just everywhere at the moment, James Rodriguez. And here is Daniel Munoz, scoops the ball into the area, cleared away. Luis Diaz was going for the overhead, and then Gustavo Puerta on the volley sees that ball spin away to the right hand side. It's actually kept in brilliantly by Colombia, and they win a corner. I mean, what a bizarre passage of play. Luis Diaz goes for the overhead. Switzerland are claiming that's dangerous play. Play continues. Puerta volleys it, gets it all wrong, spins out. You think it's going out for a Switzerland throw, but it's brilliantly kept in on the far side, and at the end of it all, Colombia have a corner.
Yeah, and they've taken it quickly too.
They've taken it short, and they're 2-on-1 against Switzerland here, who haven't defended this very well. Then they do get the block in through Wieder, And Arias will take it to the corner once more on that far side.
I mean, and this is where you do not want to concede at all. Referee's having a chat with all those players in the box again. There's pulling and shoving, and a lot of defensive players not even looking at the ball, as we've seen many times. Oh, is it a change of decision? Corner to a goal kick?
Yes, so they must have checked it. And this is the thing, we don't see this in the stadium, but VAR will have checked and they'll have decided that that wasn't a corner. So the decision has been awarded as a Switzerland goal kick. And we have to say that one of the many rules that was brought in for this tournament, when we've seen it happen, Dion, it's been done very quickly. And that's the key thing. They can only do it if it's quick, if it's clear, basically. They can't look at a million different angles and spend 2 minutes. And I have to say, in the games we've been in stadium for, there's never been a point at which something's been reversed in terms of a corner to a goal kick where you think, oh goodness me, well that's taken ages and everybody's ready now. So that has
just
worked
done,
well.
isn't it? And it's done well. I've not seen any players yet moaning about it. They've just got on with it, got back into their shape, and referees have tackled that one incredibly well.
Is an argument though, perhaps, to take the corners as quickly as possible, because that short corner that they took, they wouldn't have had
that's
time,
sneaky,
would they?
Vicky, that's sneaky.
And you were never sneaky.
No, not
never sneaky.
I'm
as a
6'2"
player,
and 17 stone. How can I be sneaky?
So Switzerland play the ball forward, almost for Granit Xhaka, who raises his head to the sky in frustration and then is almost given a little cuddle of commiseration there by Davinson Sanchez, because it was almost a perfect ball by Yashari, but Xhaka just couldn't get on the end of it. Otherwise he would have been on a one-on-one with the former Tottenham defender and bearing down on Colombia's goal, as that ball over the top from Colombia is all the way through with Gregor Kobel. And Switzerland will build once more. 4 minutes plus added time to play in this first half. It's goalless here in Vancouver on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. A reminder, you can watch all the highlights from the last 16 on the BBC Sport website and app, and on iPlayer as well. Extended 8-minute highlights of every game. My word, earlier today we had another cracker, didn't we? There's been a few at this World Cup. Argentina coming from 2 goals down to beat Egypt 3-2. They will play the winners of this match here, Switzerland against Colombia, which as it stands is goalless, as Puerta picks it up for Colombia on the halfway line, just inside the Switzerland half, and out to the left-hand side. And Mejica, the fullback, and back in field to Gustavo Puerta once again, and will roll it back. And again Colombia through Lukumi and Sanchez, happy to be patient and work it out to the right-hand side. And Munoz once more has the movement of John Arias, the former Wolves man, ahead of him, but goes in field instead to his Palace teammate Jefferson Lerma, and dinks it back to Davinson Sanchez, and in field to Lukumi once more. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, it is. It's a real frustrating one for the centre forwards. We've had nothing really to get involved.
And Luis Diaz has got involved there brilliantly, stolen it midway through the Swiss half, out to the right hand side. Munoz plays the ball in, just evaded Luis Suarez, and Freuler, recovering, clears away for another corner to Colombia on the far side. When they get things right and when it clicks for them, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is, and this time it's a lovely ball into the box. Nice early ball from the right hand side, and Suarez gets across his man. He's only about 15 yards out. I'm thinking, swing your right foot at it, you've got the momentum. He just lets it go through his legs, and it's cleared by a defender, but that's half a chance as well for a striker of his quality.
So James Rodriguez swings it in. It's headed up by Mbolo for Switzerland, not out of the area yet. Colombia trying to keep it alive. Switzerland get another head to it and then steer it away with Mbolo, and now they're trying to counter through Dan and Doy, but very well covered by Mejica. That foot in, picked up by Yashari. Now the whistle's gone. It's a free kick to Switzerland, but I think they might be a little bit frustrated there, because I think Yashari might have controlled that ball over on the halfway line. Well, hang on, which way is he giving it here?
I think it's too Colombia. It's a pull back on Mejica. Mejica was trying to get back in on the halfway line, sprinting away, getting to the ball first in a defensive role, and he just gets pulled back there on the halfway line. I think the referee got that absolutely spot on. There was a few little bits and bobs going on there, but that was the main one.
Well, that explains why Switzerland weren't aggrieved that they didn't get the advantage.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't actually their free kick.
Exactly.
So Colombia in possession, worked it all the way back to their goalkeeper Camilo Vargas inside their own penalty area, as their fans raise their voices once again. I can see a knot of A few of them jumping up and down behind that goal away to our right, waving that yellow, blue and red Colombian flag. And again, there was a solo Swiss flag that now just droops down in that little slice of red away to our left. It's goalless here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as we approach half-time. 30 seconds plus added time to play in this first half as Vargas plays it out to the right-hand side. And Colombia will work it once more. Colombia unbeaten in their last 6 games since losing 3-1 to France. A much changed France, we have to say, in a friendly in March. They actually went on a 28-game unbeaten run, a national record that ended in the Copa America final in 2024, and most of that was under their current manager Néstor Lorenzo, World Cup winner as a player with Argentina, played in the final of Italia 90. And then do you know who his next professional game was for, Dion, after that?
Go on.
Swindon.
Was it really?
Yes, indeed.
Nothing wrong with playing against Swindon, let me tell you.
So Colombia in possession as we enter 3 minutes of added time at the ends of this first half that at times has been cagey, at times has seen some good saves, at times has seen some lovely combination play, particularly from Colombia, but at times has been a little bit dull.
Yeah, and I think that's a word that will possibly sum up the first half. Quite dull, not enough dynamism in this first half yet. There has to be a change in momentum, some way, shape or form, in regards to the way that both of these sides are going about their work. I think Tim was spot on as well early on in the comms, saying that Colombia will be the happy, and I still think they will be.
Switzerland have run a free kick, an elbow from Munoz into the small of the back of Dan and Doy. So Xhaka stands over this. It's a third of the way inside the Colombia half on the left-hand side. You've got 5 red shirts lined up amongst the yellow ones on the edge of the penalty area, but Xhaka plays it square to Freuler, gets it back, then plays it to Freuler once again, then plays it square to Xhaka. And they're not doing much to lift the dull moniker from this game at the moment with that free kick. Everybody's gone forward. Colombia now try and win it over on the far side, and they win a throw. What a waste from Switzerland.
Yeah, what a waste, and I can see Akanji now running back to where he needs to be at centre-half, talking to his captain there who had the ball and he was going to cross it. 2 centre-halves went up for Switzerland and they play short and they lose it. It's so frustrating. If you go up from the back, put the ball in the box, what's the point in going up?
Ball is all the way through with Kobel in the Switzerland penalty area, and I think it's not even just that they played it short, it's that they played it short about 5 times between each other and then lost it for a throw over on the far side.
What a pointless exercise. Give yourself the opportunity. We've got 3 extra minutes here. We played 2 of them as well. Just put it in the box.
This time they do play it towards the box, Switzerland, as Freuler is trying to retain possession, but Lukimi does really well, shepherds the ball out of play for a Colombia throw deep in their own territory in front of their fans, but pretty much anywhere apart from directly behind the goal they're attacking in the top tier is in front of their fans here in BC Place in Vancouver. Live on 5 Live and BBC Sounds in this final last 16 tie of the World Cup as Mexico goes down. Switzerland had taken the throw, but the referee has stopped play. He didn't give a free kick. The decision is still Switzerland throw, but the referee is just going to come and check on Johan Mexico here.
Yeah, I think Mexico just cleared. He's in his sort of left back position. It just gets rolled back to him. Mexico, nothing in that at all. No contact. It is a contact sport, football, isn't it? You are allowed to stand up if you get contact, surely.
I think so.
I think it is, yeah. Want to try it, lads? Try it one day.
So it is a throw to Switzerland. Mexico's back up. He makes an interception on the edge of the penalty area. And Luis Diaz is trying to break over the halfway line, but again, well covered by Elvedi, whose positioning has been very good for Switzerland in this first half. And there is the culmination of the first half. Well, we had the 3 minutes for the hydration break, and basically, with that included, we've had no added time, which perhaps sums this up. Although we have to say at times, Dion, Colombia have played some really lovely stuff. We've seen a couple of decent saves from both goalkeepers, but fair to say that this one is yet to really spark into life. It feels a bit Spain-Portugal, doesn't it?
It's a little bit, wake me up at full time kind of thing. It's not been great. I understand the magnitude of the game. I understand how important it is not to make mistakes. However, you need to do more if you need to progress or you want to progress. I mean, as the Switzerland players and all the staff are walking off the pitch to our right down the tunnel, Colombia are in the centre circle. All 11 players in yellow shirts are in the centre circle, walking off together, having a bit of a debrief. And I think it's Diaz that's doing the talking and Rodriguez is doing the talking before they even get in at half-time. needs to be a better second half if one of these two are going to go through.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Because they came together and it looked as though, as you say, they were going to start that full debrief, and they are doing it a bit, but it's almost as though they want to walk off as a unit. This is a show of unity, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, what they spoke about there, I've no idea, but it was very much a let's regroup, let's go in together, let's stay together. Still chatting now.
And they're now almost walking up in formation, 4-4-2.
4-4-2, exactly, yeah. If they'd have played like that, they might have got more chances.
So, there we go. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0 at half-time in this final last 16 tie. Argentina awaits in the last 8.
God, thank God that's over. 7 touches in the opposition box, Dion, between the two of them. Not the commentary. I mean, the commentary's been great. I mean the football.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
I was hoping to enjoy this one. First 2 or 3 minutes, I thought, brilliant. Last 48, not great, to be honest with you. It's just, I don't know, it's very much unfortunately, I don't lose it game, and it shows, and it's slow, and it's laborious. And I mean, we've got a stadium here full of Colombia fans and a little slice of Switzerland to our left, and nobody's bothered getting involved yet. Even they're waiting for something to happen. The best players haven't done anything yet. Both teams, both managers haven't done anything yet. But there's still time, chappers. Come on, there's still time.
Absolutely, Dion. Vicky, well, I'll give you a break. Tim Vickery, obvious thing to say, we're 0-0 at half-time. But it needs a goal, because actually we saw with Egypt and Argentina, once the goal went in, Argentina had to start chasing.
Yeah, and that leaves Colombia in an interesting position, because what are they going to do now with James Rodriguez? They've always taken him off, either at half-time in the last game or relatively early in the second half. He's coming up 35. He hasn't played club football. He's been at a number of clubs, but he hasn't played for them. And his fitness level is not great. He's not going to last a night. He's unlikely to last a 90. What do you do with him now? If he's only got another 20 minutes in him, does that mean that you go for it while you've got him with some gas in the tank? So will more room open up on the field for Dion's chess pieces to express themselves? Will Colombia go with it with James Rodriguez? And who will they replace him with? Assuming that they do replace him, which they have in all the other games. Will it be just a midfielder, to have 4 in midfield and free Luis Diaz to stay higher up the field? Or will it be a like-for-like replacement, such as, you'll remember him, I'm sure, from 14 and 18, little Juan Fernando Quintero, who's another genius little left-footed playmaker, not the fittest, but a lot of talent in that left foot. Quintero, who was a kind of youth star, who threw away a little bit of his career for a while because he got obsessed with music and eating. Exactly what I would do, chappers, if I was a top-level footballer. So I've always felt represented by him on the field. So I'm always happy when Quintero comes on. That would be the kind of like-for-like change, or they can bring on a more business-like midfielder to get Luis Diaz higher up the field. So that, I think, will be going through the mind of the Colombia coach, Néstor Lorenzo.
Leave it there, Tim. We'll talk later. Novak Djokovic has been taken into a 5th set by Auger-Aliassime on centre court. Djokovic took the opening game of the 5th set. They're at deuce on Auger-Aliassime's serve in the second game. We'll go to centre court after Lisa and the BBC News.
Cheers, thank you.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the UK and the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Thanks, chappers. The Prime Minister has described Nigel Farage's decision to resign as the MP for Clacton as a desperate stunt. The Reform UK leader stepped down, triggering a by-election, which he says he's going to stand. It follows questions over his finances. Here's a Conservative leader, Kemi Badenoch.
What I saw was a man who was cracking under the pressure. He went on telly having a hissy fit because for the first time he is finally having to face some scrutiny after a very long honeymoon. All of us MPs have to register our donations. We have to register our gifts. Nobody is above the law.
Prince Harry and Baroness Doreen Lawrence have described a High Court ruling against the publishers of the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday as an obvious whitewash. They'd claimed associate newspapers had used unlawful methods to get stories, but the High Court judge says there wasn't enough evidence to prove the allegations. Paul Dacre is the editor-in-chief of Associated Newspapers. He issued a video statement after the verdict.
Today, in what was a momentous victory for the Mail, the High Court dismissed every single one of the 97 claims. That is an overwhelming vindication of our journalism.
The French far-right leader Marine Le Pen says she'll still run for president next year, despite losing her appeal against her conviction for misusing public funds. She'll be required to wear an electronic tag, though, which could make campaigning difficult. Ukraine's intelligence service says the suspect in last week's bombing attack in Monaco has been found dead near the capital, Kyiv. Anastasia Bereskoskova had gunshot wounds to her head. The agency says 2 men have been detained over her murder. And a peak audience of 9.1 million people tuned in to watch England's World Cup win over Mexico on Monday. The match kicked off at 2 in the UK, but was watched by an average of 7.8 million people. That's the biggest television audience ever for a live broadcast at that time.
When you're watching the match in bed, when you're streaming a game on your commute, when you just have to catch all the action.
Come on,
Goal! Oops, sorry.
Who cares? What's a spilt coffee after a goal like that?
Nothing brings us together like great TV. And a TV licence covers you to watch all TV channels, including live TV on streaming services, so you can cheer along no matter what time you're watching the football. It also funds everything you love from the BBC, including live radio. Like this.
This is 5 Live Sports.
At the FIFA World Cup 2026.
With Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Switzerland and Colombia goalless in their last 16 match, back in Vancouver shortly. In the cricket, earlier England thrashed India by 125 runs in the third T20 at Trent Bridge. Let's go straight to centre court. Novak Djokovic into her 5th set. Katie Smith and Russell Fuller.
And he has a break point here, Mark. So let's head straight to Russell Fuller describing the action against Felix Auger-Aliassime.
And he's netted with the forehand. So that is 3 break points the Canadian third seed and world number 4 has saved in this second game of the deciding set. 1-0 Djokovic leads, 4 hours and 17 minutes on centre court. Djokovic took the first on a tie-break by 12 points to 10, having saved 3 set points. Auger-Aliassime took the second set 6-3, Djokovic the third 6-3. He led the fourth 2-0, but to the immense credit of the 25-year-old from Montreal, he came back to take the fourth set on a tie-break. And now he is desperately trying to hang on to his serve, his opening service game of the deciding set. And he's serving now at deuce with a kick serve. Backhand from Auger-Aliassime, the backhand from Djokovic, sliced backhand Auger-Aliassime, a backhand from the Canadian, a forehand from the Serb. Auger-Aliassime cross-court with the backhand from Auger-Aliassime. Djokovic now nets the forehand. So perhaps, Katie, the danger has passed for now. It is advantage on the Auger-Aliassime serve, but with every one of these rallies, the clock ticks on another minute or two. I think we're going to finish before the curfew of 11 o'clock, although it's not absolutely guaranteed at 3 minutes to 10, and 4 hours and 18 minutes is the overall match time.
There are so many factors at play here, Russell, with the court here on the centre court, the main show court at Wimbledon, eating out the palm of the hands of these two players. So we have the curfew just over an hour to go as Auger-Aliassime holds 1 game apiece in the 5th and deciding set. We've got the fact that this is Djokovic chasing that elusive 25th Grand Slam title, which would put him outright ahead of anybody else. And we also have the fact, Russell Fuller, that we already know waiting in the semi-finals is the world number 1, Jannik Sinner.
Yes, Jannik Sinner will have been laughing all the way to the restaurant when he checked his app and saw the score in this match. Going deep into a 5th at this time of night is ideal for Sinner, especially if 39-year-old Novak Djokovic is his opponent in the semi-finals on Friday. One advantage the winner of this match will have is that you get 2 complete days off, with the women's semi-finals taking place on Thursday and the men's on Friday. But Sinner, he's not at his absolute best, but he hasn't really been pushed so far. Was taken to 5 sets in the first round against Miomir Kecmanovic, but came through today against the unseeded world number 74 Jan-Lennard Struff in straight sets. And he's doing plenty enough to have got to yet another Wimbledon semi-final.
How would you assess Djokovic's physicality through this quarter-final so far. I think he had some treatment early on.
He did, and he looked a little bit concerned about his left calf, but a massage from the physio seemed to do the trick, and we've not seen any sign that that's been troubling him since. When he lost to Joao Fonseca at the Roland Garros, you'll remember that he said he ran out of gas in the final set as he lost in the third round, but it was a very different situation there because it was very, very hot and humid in Paris. Djokovic didn't have as many matches in his legs. Clay's a more physical surface than grass. Here, yes, it's been hot by day, but this has been predominantly an evening match. The final 3 sets have been played under the roof, and it's just not quite so grueling as that match in Paris was. But it's going to hurt Djokovic. If he gets through this match tonight, there's no question it's likely to be a factor, maybe not a decisive factor, in any semi-final.
Because the match clock now reads 4 hours and 21 minutes. We've played out 2 tie-breaks already through to this 5th set. If they go to a 5th, that would be a 10-point tie-break, although in a way they already played that out in the first set, didn't they? I wonder physicality then, if we switch it to the younger opponent, Felix Auger-Aliassime, by some years, I think 14 years, the junior of Novak Djokovic. A real moment then, Russell, for him to stamp a bit of authority down. He's the 3rd seed, and yet conversations I've been overhearing around the grounds here is we still don't know that much about him.
No, exactly. And I think whatever happens here, he has stepped up tonight. Yes, he is seeded to reach the semi-finals, but his ranking of world number 4 has been achieved without him winning any big titles on the ATP Tour. Now, he's won many, many titles. He's a serious winner. 9 titles, but they are not the top tier of Masters 1000 events. 8 of them have been on an indoor hard court, so he's not shown the ability to win on all surfaces in all conditions. But here he is, going toe-to-toe with Djokovic and looking like he has just as much chance as the 39-year-old at 1 game all in the deciding set.
So this continues on. Let's just reflect quickly on some of the other storylines. Let's look at the women's quarterfinals that took place today. Coco Gauff, 2-time Grand Slam champion. That cheer is for game point for Novak Djokovic, who leads 14-15 to move 1 point clear of a 2-1 advantage on serve in this 5th set. Coco Gauff into a first Wimbledon semi-final, Russell, and has done it the hard way once again, coming through in 3 sets. She is a battler.
Yeah, winning ugly is often the expression used, and she comes through time and time again in these 3-set matches. As Jessica Pegula's level dropped, Coco Gauff's level improved as she went through the match and won that decider by 6-3, and will now play Karolina Muchova of the Czech Republic, who's been a runner-up at Roland Garros before, and she was brilliant as she managed to beat Naomi Osaka 7-6, 6-4, especially on serve. And there was Djokovic holding serve for 2-1 in this 5th set, and my attention is drawn again to those Serb fans who have burnt almost as many calories as Djokovic tonight because they've been on their feet, cheering on their man, getting up, applauding, shaking their fist, getting very, very excited indeed, and they may need to keep that level up for another 45 minutes or so.
And yet, potentially, Mark, they only have 58 more minutes required of them this evening. That is when the curfew hits, and so far, 5th set decider, and Djokovic, Auger-Aliassime, cannot be decided right now. We're on serve in the 5th.
Okay, so you can listen to that Sports Extra. You can watch it on BBC One as well. So we are goalless in Vancouver between Switzerland and Colombia. The winners, of course, meet Argentina in the last 8 after they came from 2-0 down to beat Egypt by 3-2. We need a goal here, Dion and Vicky. We need a goal.
We do indeed, Mark, and actually we've had the best bit of the game has actually come at half-time, because Canada have done their little version of a half-time show that of course we're going to see the US in the final. The Canadian singer Tom Cochrane has just performed his hit Life is a Highway. Over to our left we've had sparklers and streams of sparks going up, and the crowd were loving it, and honestly it's the best bit of action we've seen so far inside the stadium today.
Yeah, and it's the most exciting I've got to say. Live music at football, absolutely brilliant. I was waiting for the jazz to come out, but there was no jazz today, chappers.
Were you drumming along, Dion?
Yes, Chappers, you know me too well, sir. I was drumming on the desk. I
thought you might have been. Colombia now back out, so all yours, Vicky.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark. So, yes, welcome back to Vancouver. 0-0 at the break. And in the words of another artist, things can only get better when it comes to this game. Switzerland make a change at half-time. Yashari has made way for Djibril Sow. Now, he was a doubt. He had to leave training early yesterday, but he is on. They're without, if you're just joining us, Joan Manzambi, their young starlet. He's missed out completely with a knee injury, but Djibril Sow, who scored 5 goals for Sevilla this season, is on for Yashari. And Dion, we just need a spark from somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We need a change in the pace of the game. We need a spark in the final third from somebody, and we need some more positivity from both of these teams.
So, Switzerland get us underway and immediately start passing it between the centre halves. It bodes well. They're all in red.
Does it bode well?
They're sending it back to their goalkeeper, Kobel. The back four of Zakaria, Elvedi, Akanji and Rodriguez. Xhaka and Freuler in the centre, and So will join that midfield with Ndoye and Reader supporting, and Bolo up top as the ball is cleared up towards So, the half-time substitute. Out to the right-hand side he goes, and the ball will be collected, but the flag is up against Zakaria for offside, and it will be a free kick to Colombia just inside their own half. So Colombia, no changes for them at half-time. Vargas in goal, the back four of Munoz, Sanchez, Lukumi and Mejica. Ahead of them, Puerta, Lerma and Arias, with their captain becoming their record goal scorer today, James Rodriguez. A record goal scorer, record appearance maker, I should say. I'd love a goal. But so far it's goalless. James Rodriguez, Luis Diaz and Luis Suarez. Not that one, the one that's the top scorer in the Portuguese top flight this season. Up top as Colombia win another free kick, this time just outside their own penalty area. And we've played 75 seconds in this first half, Dion, and so far it's the same story.
Yeah, as you were, yeah. We've got plenty of time though. Here we go. I'm going to give them every opportunity to wow me in this second half. Show me what you've got. Show me why you deserve to go through.
Yeah, that's the sort of positivity we like from Dion. And we want positivity from either Colombia or Switzerland in this second half. Colombia have been the better side so far. Switzerland coming forwards with more of the possession in this second half. It's Rodriguez to Dan Ndoye of Nottingham Forest, who does well down to the byline, pulls the ball across, and it will come on the penalty spot. And it's steered wide by the substitute, Djibril Sow. He was slipping as he took the shot, but he was completely unmarked by that Colombia back line. And Switzerland have squandered a chance early in the second half.
Massive chance as well. And Ndoye just very, very positive. We've seen him do it many times. Gets to the byline, pulls it back, the ball rolls over the penalty spot. And so there he actually slips as he's just about to strike it. He's got all the time in the world, sets himself to strike it with his left foot, and his right foot just slips underneath him, and the ball goes harmlessly out for a goal kick. But that is a really, really good chance.
And a real concern for Colombia in terms of the marking there. As we say, defensively they've been so solid at this tournament. Conceded one goal in the opener against Uzbekistan, and have kept a clean sheet in every other match so far, beating DR Congo. They scored a late winner in that game. DR Congo, who of course lost narrowly to England in the last 32. Then the goalless draw with Portugal, which meant they qualified as group winners ahead of the Portuguese, and the 1-0 victory in the last 32 over Ghana. Switzerland also through as group winners, finishing ahead of Canada, the co-hosts, as they pick it up. Switzerland midway through the Colombia half, playing all in red from right to left. Colombia in the yellow shirts, the white shorts and the white socks. Nice little 1-2 by Switzerland. Oh, and Ndoye down. Is that a penalty? Well, protests from Dan Ndoye are not perhaps as vehement as they might have been. I have to say, from our angle, it looks like it could well be a spot kick, but there weren't that many appeals from the Swiss players. The referee has said don't take that throw just yet. What do we think, Dion?
No, I think there was a little bit of contact early on, an attempt to grab a shirt as well. I'm not sure if there's enough to make Ndoye go down, to be honest with you. Munoz actually just panicking slightly because Ndoye gets the wrong side of him and he's thinking, just grab something, don't let him go around me. But the referee, I think, got that spot on.
Yeah, and we're back underway. It's one of those where I think Ndoye feels that first initial contact and thinks something else is going to happen, so he goes down, and then nothing else does happen. So, right decision, quickly dismissed by VAR. Any sense of a review? And Colombia in possession outside the centre circle. Mexica out to the left-hand side, just plays it straight into So, cleared away by Lukumi. And headed away by Nico Elvedi out to the right-hand side. Nice little back heel by So to keep that in. Forward by Freuler, and now Rieder. And in field by So to Xhaka. This is much better from Switzerland. Out to the left-hand side. Rodriguez will pick it up. Down the left he goes as his manager, Murat Yakin, in his dark blue suit, stands with his hands in his pockets. Two players come together. Xhaka's one of them, so's Munoz. Both down. Colombia have it over the halfway line. And here goes Jefferson Lerma as the referee allows play to continue. Colombia now in possession over on the left-hand side. James Rodriguez has it taken off his toes. And Munoz is still down for Colombia, but they're in possession. They can decide to put the ball out. The referee is happy to let play continue. And Colombia don't want to put the ball out, even with their teammate down. They've slowed the play down just outside the Switzerland penalty area on that left-hand side. And then the ball is played across to Puerta as Munoz is eventually back up to his feet and joining the attack as James Rodriguez plays the ball into the area. Good delivery and very good defending there at the back by Switzerland. Zakaria just easing the on-rushing Arias out of the way. And now eventually at the end of that, Granit Xhaka, I think, has gone into the book there for Switzerland for the original challenge. And do you know what? That is a deserved yellow card. He comes to try and win the ball and he stands on the top of the foot of Daniel Munoz. That is a painful one, and credit to the referee for keeping that in the back of his mind.
Yeah, I mean, Munoz there is slapping his hands together, as we can see on our screens. That was a real painful one. The bottom of Xhaka's studs on the top of Munoz's left boot there, they are painful ones, they are.
So Switzerland coming forward. They've been the better side in this second half. So has made a difference, the substitute, and he's on the ball here. Plays it out to the left-hand side, and Ricardo Rodriguez advancing towards the byline, but well marshalled by Munoz. So we'll steer it back to Granit Xhaka, then Rodriguez to the edge of the area. It's So once more. Plays it back to Manuel Akanji, and out to the left-hand side, and Granit Xhaka once again in field to Akanji midway through the Colombia half. It's still goalless here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds in this final last 16 tie as Rieder draws the foul. Free kick Switzerland just outside the penalty area, almost level with the left-hand edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's a lovely little ball in from Akanji. Edge of the 18-yard box. Rieder goes to the ball, then goes away from the ball, doesn't touch it, lets it roll through him. I think it was Sanchez that got done with the little dummy there. And Rieder's got his team a free kick, what should we say, 22 yards out on the angle, left-hand side of the box, about 5 yards away from the edge of the box, and it's 3 red shirts over the ball. This could be dangerous, this could.
And the little slice of red-shirted Switzerland fans away to our left in the top tier are clapping their hands together and raising them. This is behind the goal they are that Switzerland are attacking, and they know that this is a decent opening. Xhaka is there too, but it swung in instead and hits the side netting. It was Rieder with the effort. Well, it didn't look like an angle that might open up for a shot, but Rieder curled it around the wall, which did its job for Colombia. And Vargas, the Colombia goalkeeper, was across very quickly, covering that top corner. Decent try by Rieder, but it stays goalless.
Yeah, it was the difficult of the two efforts, I've got to say. If you go with your right foot, you've got more goal to hit. At a better angle, Rieder tried to put it in that top left-hand corner. As he was looking, the wall did its job, and he was about 2 yards wide of that left up right.
So Colombia get us underway. It's still goalless. Switzerland back in shape. Switzerland, who have lost just one of their last 18 games in all competitions. That was 4-3, a thriller against Germany in March. They've not actually lost a competitive match, Switzerland, since losing back in November 2024 to Spain in the Nations League by 3-2. So this is a side, as we're seeing today, that is very difficult to beat. And Colombia, a side that's very difficult to score against at this World Cup. So perhaps no surprise as the ball goes out of play for a Colombia throw right in front of their manager, Nestor Lorenzo, but it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's okay to play at a tempo like this, which is quite pedestrian from both sides, but when you do get into the areas where you have to pick it up a little bit, 1 and 2 touch, that's when you'll get your joy. neither side has actually done it yet.
Lovely bit of play by James Rodriguez, controlling with his head and then his foot, then he's dispossessed, then he wins it back, fires it into his teammate Arias, who can't keep it. That pass was fizzed at him with such ferocity. And Switzerland have it on the halfway line once again. Here is Akanji, plays it forward to Granit Xhaka, and now infield to Freuler, who saw a little bit of space for Zakaria over on the far side. Plays it all the way back to Nico Elvedi. We mentioned this just at half-time, but Elvedi's positioning has been really good in this game so far.
Yeah, just what you expect, to be honest with you. Just getting himself into areas where the dangerous ball is going to be.
Switzerland looking dangerous here until that little dinked ball forward from Rieder is cleared away by Mojica. And Colombia will try and chase. Kobel just sees enough on that back pass and will clear the ball away from the onrushing Luis Diaz.
I don't think he meant that, to be fair. Kobel didn't mean that at all. It went to his left back there with a bit of a swing of his left foot. Wanted to go longer with that one, got lucky.
So Colombia in possession with Gustavo Puerta. Plays it back to Davinson Sanchez, and all the way he goes back to Camilo Vargas. But I think you're right, Dion. It does feel similar to Spain-Portugal in the last 16. It's the best comparison, that both teams just feel afraid to make a mistake, and that's leading to more caution from both of them.
Yeah, and it forces you to play with the mindset of don't make a mistake, don't try that pass, it might get cut out, rather than if I play that pass we might go one goal up. So the mindset has to shift, and it has to shift quickly for a player or a manager.
Gianni Infantino in attendance today. Just seen a shot of him on our monitor. Not up on the big screen though. Been a busy few days for FIFA.
He's not struggled to get tickets, has he? He's at every game, isn't he?
As the ball goes out of play, and it will be a throw to Switzerland, who are having the better of the second half. 11 minutes gone. Still goalless in this final last 16 tie, which will complete the quarter-final lineup. And we will have commentary of every single one for you on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Switzerland work it forward down the left-hand side. Cleared away by Davinson Sanchez. Switzerland throw. It all starts France-Morocco on Thursday, Spain-Belgium on Friday, Norway-England on Saturday, and Argentina against either Switzerland or Colombia on Sunday.
Yeah, they're trying to pick up the pace, Switzerland, but they just haven't got the quality to get through this well-organised Colombian side.
Kobel again put under pressure, that time from Luis Suarez. His clearance is chested down by John Lukumi. Dannon Doy just had a little issue there. He's jogging back to the halfway line, looks to have shaken off whatever knock he briefly picked up, the Nottingham Forest man. As Colombia have it over on the far side, and back to Lukumi once more, who will steer it all the way back to Camilo Vargas. He's been number 1 since the Copa America a couple of years ago, overtaking David Ospina. He's been patient for his chance to play at a World Cup for a very first time. This is his 3rd World Cup, but didn't play in 2014 or 2018 as Colombia come forward down the right-hand side. It's Munoz bursting forward, and Akanji just about got that ball back to Kobel. Clearance under pressure goes straight to Puerta. Ricardo Rodriguez then clears away, and Dannon Doy with a beautifully deft touch there to spin the ball away from Jefferson Lerma and keep possession. And a lovely ball out right-hand side as well with the outside of his boot, looking for So. That's intercepted. Xhaka will pick it up for Switzerland, but that was a beautiful bit of play from Ndoye.
Yeah, Ndoye, I actually think he got lucky there with a bad touch. The ball spins around his right shin in front of the manager. Looks a great bit of skill, but he didn't actually mean it.
Well, I'll bow to your expertise, Dion, and I won't give him the benefit of the doubt as the ball into the area is cleared away by Colombia. And then a late challenge there from Zakaria, and that's going to be a yellow card as well. Went flying in there, Zakaria, on Luis Diaz, and unnecessarily so as well, because Diaz was still just midway through his own half. But it shows that Switzerland are up for this in the second half.
Oh, I think that's a good challenge. I've just seen that challenge on the screen. I think Zakaria gets the ball there. I think he gets the ball, toes it away from Diaz. He knows if he gets there first, his team are in a good position. I don't think that's a free kick at all. Gets a yellow card for his efforts, though.
Now, there's a couple of different angles of it. The decision has gone against Denis Zakaria. It will be Colombia with the free kick, and they send it back to their goalkeeper Camilo Vargas, who plays it over the halfway line. Elvedi is there, lovely cushioned header, back to Gregor Kobel. But when Colombia do manage to do the press, and Luis Suarez is just gesturing about that now, I think on that occasion telling his teammates to hold, but they are putting Kobel under pressure.
Yeah, they're trying to, and they're waiting for the press, the trigger to work for them.
And here they go. It's Luis Diaz, plays the ball into the area looking for Luis Suarez, comes back to Diaz, beautiful control, then gets the shot away and couldn't get the power behind it from just inside the area on the angle. Then Kobel is bundled over by Luis Suarez, and Luis Suarez is going to go into the book. Now this is interesting, isn't it? Because he did something very similar in the first half where he barged into Kobel, and that time Kobel ignored it. This time the referees got involved, and it's exactly what Murat Yakin, the Switzerland manager, said before the game: we have to not be provoked by Colombia. And on that occasion, Luis Suarez has overstepped the line in that particular move. What he's done is he's grabbed Kobel's arm as he's not quite ready to release it, but he's preparing to do that, and he's gone into the book forward.
It's embarrassing that Kobel's gone down just by somebody grabbing his arm very, very lightly. He's got himself a free kick and, got his team off the hook, but to go down with a little bit of a pull on your arm is quite embarrassing.
As Reader drives, his shot is blocked for Switzerland, and Mexico, who clears, waves his Colombian teammates forward. Then Akanji concedes a free kick on the halfway line. I'm laughing because the referee gives the free kick and then runs away from the decision at a 45-degree angle, almost as if he doesn't want to engage with Manuel Akanji there. Yes, he's getting into a good position to see the rest of the play, but just never quite seen a referee run away from that decision like that so quickly. Anyway, Colombia coming down the left-hand side. It's still goalless, but it is just about picking up a little bit in this second half as Arias has it down the left-hand side. Barely mentioned him in this second period as the ball is swung in by Mexico. A rather nervy clearance from Elvedi. Will be kept in. No, won't be kept in over on that far side by Switzerland. So Colombia will have the throw. They've taken it deep. I'm not sure they took it exactly where it should have been from. And actually that's been flagged as an offside as it was played on by Colombia. All a bit scrappy. Ultimately, Switzerland had the free kick on the far side.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Dion, it's still goalless.
Yeah, ultimately. Nothing's really happened, but I can feel the pace of the game picking up slightly. We're now on 61.5 minutes. Something has to happen. There's some real edginess about the game now and some physicality about the game.
As Daniel Munoz dinks it forward, Akanji has to be careful because Munoz has continued that run. Akanji steers it to Kobel, the Switzerland goalkeeper, all in black with the bright orange gloves, and Colombia will pick it up again. And Switzerland will concede the free kick again. The referee was right there. Danendoy's furious. Puerta it is who's gone down, who is helped up to his feet by Xhaka. Colombia have taken the free kick quickly, but they've run into traffic with a swarm of red shirts of Switzerland. And Switzerland, in the end, make the interception. It's Davinson Sanchez, the centre-half, getting forward, but Switzerland have stolen possession and they play it nicely. Short passes, one touch between them, just to alleviate some of the pressure as Colombia back off once more. And Switzerland play it out to the right-hand side. Now Colombia put the press on and they've stolen it. It's Luis Suarez, but he can't control it. But Xhaka's down and Luis Suarez will drive. And he blazes wide. And Xhaka's fuming. He goes towards the referee. He felt there was a foul in there, but Switzerland got themselves all in a muddle. And that's a chance for Suarez, and he's blazed it.
Yeah, Xhaka was taking too long in the middle of his own half there. He thought he got fouled, but he didn't. The ball was poked away from him. Oh, my dear. What a chance that is, by the way. Suarez, edge of the box, 22 yards out. Nobody's blocking him. Nobody's got anywhere near him. And he slices it wide of the goal, right-hand side. Should have hit the target.
It's a really poor effort from Luis Suarez. And it's a big chance that goes begging for Colombia as Akanji is tussling with Luis Diaz. And I'll tell you what, it is all getting a little bit feisty from both sides as Ricardo Rodriguez chests it down, then plays it long forward, looking for Mbolo, who, as Dion said during commentary several times, has had absolutely nothing to work with. He's now taking out some of his frustration on the official because he feels he was fouled there. But, you know, as a former centre-forward yourself, Dion, this is the most frustrating game for Brel and Mbolo because at least for Colombia's forward line, they're interchanging passes, they're moving it around. You know, Suarez will go one way, then Luis Diaz is there, James Rodriguez. They're all involved in the game, whereas Mbolo's playing the, you know, lone man up top most of the time, and he's just not getting any service.
No, because if the ball does come up to him, he's taking his teammates a good 2 or 3 seconds to get there, and he's not getting any help at all. And Two centre-halves of Colombia really giving them a hard time, a physical hard time.
Here they come down the left-hand side, Colombia. It's Mexica. Ball is blocked away by Elvedi. Filling in over on that right-hand side, Colombia are preparing to make a change. Juan Quintero and Leandro Campaz are both going to be coming on. And we are still awaiting this real spark here in Vancouver on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, although it is just starting to simmer up. Switzerland have a player down on the edge of the area. Luis Diaz was involved there. The referee has blown the whistle. It's Nico Elvedi who's got his hand over his lips as if to say that he's been caught in the face there. Now he's helped up to his feet by Denis Zakaria. Luis Diaz has come back to complain. And after all of that, Switzerland are going to get the free kick, and this double change is going to be made. So, not unexpected, but James Rodriguez is going to make way. He started every game at the tournament, but 34 years of age, becomes Colombia's record appearance maker today. Their captain has really struggled with illness this season. He was actually hospitalised in March with dehydration. So he is off and will be replaced by Juan Quintero. And the other change will see John Arias, the former Wolves man, make way, and he will be replaced by Leandro Campaz. Both of them play in Argentina. Quintero for River Plate and Campaz for Rosario Central. And Switzerland will play it out to the right-hand side. We're still goalless. 65 minutes gone in this game. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, and time is edging away from both of these sides to try and make a difference. What that difference is going to be, only they know, only the manager knows. And who is it going to be that's going to make the difference with that bit of special play? It has to happen soon.
Out to the right-hand side goes Switzerland. It's kept in by Zakaria. And the ball goes out of play, but the whistle has already gone for a free kick to Switzerland. And they will have the set piece a third of the way inside their own half. As again, the Colombia fans start bouncing all around us. Oh, they've started a Mexican wave over on the far side, and just to the left of our commentary position, there are so many yellow-shirted supporters bouncing up and down, waving those yellow, red and blue flags, and watching their side defend against Switzerland. Still goalless here. Switzerland wants a free kick, they're not going to get it, and Bolo down, still down, and doesn't get the decision as Colombia have it on the left-hand side. Now they have it midway inside their own half. Switzerland are saying, well, can you please put the ball out of play? And in the end, the referee's made the decision himself. So when Bolo is down, he's patting the ground with his palm, and he was first holding his knee, then he's holding his leg. And the referee has gone over, and Granit Xhaka, his captain, as well. But it has been a very frustrating game for Brelin Bolo.
It has, but this kind of, you know, I mean, I know there's contact from the centre half, but Mbolo's holding his ankle, then he's holding his knee, then he's looking through his fingers to see if the game's been put out, and now he's moaning at the referee. You know, unfortunately, you're a big centre forward, there's got to be contact. Stand strong, hold off the defender, and then you'll be fine. I've got to say, if I'm playing for Colombia, I'm not putting the ball out. I'm cracking on.
Well, the reason you can hear Bon Jovi is it's the hydration break, but Brel Mbolo is not happy. He's just had to be eased away from John Lukumi, the Colombia centre-half. Then he went back to the referee. Yeah, I think frustration is public, and he's going back to the referee now, and Xhaka is there as well, which is his right as the captain. And Mbolo now having a conversation with the assistant on the near side. The referee said no. He's moved both of his hands together and he said, look, you go now. It's the hydration break. Go to your team. I'm not having any more of this. So Colombia's players gathering in a circle. Switzerland's players coming together as well. It's goalless here. We've got a quarter of the game to go. Somebody's got to be a hero, or we're heading for extra time and penalties. So during this hydration break, let us head to Wimbledon, and Russell Fuller can bring us the latest.
Where this gripping quarter-final is still in progress, Vicky. After 4 hours and 49 minutes, Felix Auger-Aliassime, the third seed, fighting back from a breakdown in the fourth set to win a tiebreak and level the match with 39-year-old Novak Djokovic, who's trying to reach an 8th consecutive semi-final here. In the deciding set, Djokovic leads 5-4. He just recovered from love 30 down to hold serve, and it's now Auger-Aliassime who is trying to hold his serve to stay in the match. A 10-point tiebreak eminently possible to decide this contest after 4 hours and 49 minutes, and Yannick Sinner awaiting in Friday's semi-finals.
Thank you very much, Russell. A thriller at Wimbledon. Wish I could say the same here in Vancouver. Let's bring in Tim Vickery, our South American football expert. Tim, which way do you see this one going?
Well, Colombia have made some attacking changes there. We knew that James Rodriguez wasn't going to last the game. They've replaced him with the number 20, Quintero, who's a wonderful player to watch. He's got a wand of a left foot. Not the greatest athlete. He doesn't give you much more than an hour. But he's got a wand of a left foot. And now he's got Luis Diaz and the other substitutes, the number 21, Hamilton Campaz. So he's got pace to look to hit pace on the break. So as space opens up for Dion's chess pieces, I think we could still, in the 90 minutes, we could still see Knight take Bishop, Rook 4.
That's the best summary I've heard at this World Cup. Thank you very much for that, Tim. Love it.
Yes, thank you, Tim. As Switzerland are preparing to make a change, and the man they're bringing on, I mean, what a dramatic tournament he's had. He's made one late substitution appearance against Qatar. He scored a fabulous header, but unfortunately it was in his own goal, and it was a late equaliser for Qatar. Then he missed a couple of games with injury. He was back on the bench last match against Algeria after recovering from that calf issue. And now Miro Muheim is on for Ricardo Rodriguez, and again this is a man who made a relatively late debut. He's only 28 years old, but he only made his debut for Switzerland back in November 2024, and I think particularly in these sort of games where the football isn't really living up to it, you're looking for narratives, and Miro Muheim, if he was to get involved in a decisive way, that certainly would be a story, as we see a shot of Jurgen Klopp here in the stands.
Yeah, enjoying some snacks there.
Enjoying some snacks.
Come on, Jurgen, share the snacks, come on.
Well, you've got some sweets here, Dion. We could go and find them, couldn't we? Not sure he'll have been overly impressed by the footballing fare on offer today, but as Tim says, there is still time for a grandstand finish. We're going to have drama either way, because it's either going to be a late winner, given that we're still 0-0, an extra time winner, or a penalty shootout winner, as Switzerland win a free kick over on this left-hand side, just about level with that penalty spot, right on the left-hand touchline. We have 19 minutes plus added time to play. Who is going to find the breakthrough?
Better play though from Switzerland. They dropped the ball into Mbolo. Reeder's there right in front of him. Mbolo takes it up, drops it off to Reeder. Reeder plays forward to Undoy to the left-hand side. It's really simple. Give your centre forward some help and he'll hold it up and play the game.
So it's Reeder with his arm up to take this set piece. It's swung in left-footed. It's a decent delivery. Good header away by Davinson Sanchez. Back in by Muheim. Good punch by Vargas. Offside flag is up anyway. Vargas is down. And Mbolo, it looks like, as well, who went clattering in. And both players in need of some treatment. So both medical staff members are on. And it is a clean punch by Vargas, and just the collision afterwards, which is a heavy coming together between himself and Mbolo, but good goalkeeping from Vargas.
Yeah, great goalkeeping. You're not to know if Mbolo was clearly offside when the ball went back in. And Mbolo, you've got to expect contact from the keeper there. Vargas just comes straight out, smashes the ball over his head, both hands, punches it away. And they both have a little bit of an embrace there, as if to say, are you okay? So, good, everybody's safe.
So Vargas still receiving some treatment, and Mbolo is pointing up to the roof at the moment. Feels like he's got a lot of topics of conversation for Mbolo in this game, and most of them are complaining about something, it seems like. But a little hand clasp with the referee, a little hug with Camilo Vargas. And it will be the free kick for Colombia inside their own penalty area.
Still time, Vicky. There's still time for the sport. There's still time. Come on. Show us something, you two. Come on. I know there's more in the locker from you.
Well, there's got to be something, hasn't there? Because we've got to have a winner at the end of the day. They will face, whoever that is, Argentina in the quarterfinals after another stunning match at this World Cup. Argentina coming from 2 goals down to beat Egypt by 3 goals to 2. Messi continuing, Salah out as Switzerland with a little bit of hesitation at the back there. Good defending by Akanji. And cleared away in the end by Kobel as Munoz will send it infield. And it's picked up by the substitute, Quintero. 30 yards out, plays it through. Oh, that's a lovely layoff, picked up once more by Colombia, and it was the other substitute, Campaz, who eventually is flagged offside, who sent the low-driven shot on the angle straight into the arms of Gregor Kobel.
That is so much better though from Colombia. A little one-touch, nice little flick round the corner to Campaz. He's just straight offside by a yard, but so much smoother from Colombia in that final third.
Short layoff by Dan and Doy, but Reeder did manage to retain possession, and then he's fouled. So that will be a free kick to Switzerland, third of the way inside their own half on the left-hand side. Dion Dublin.
Did Lerma get the ball there? I think he might have done, you know. Ball, man, everything. Again, the referee getting that one correct. You can't get the ball through the man. That's illegal.
So Granit Xhaka stands over this for Switzerland. We've got 15 minutes plus added time to play. 0-0. We are looming ever closer towards extra time as the ball goes out of play from Colombia. But this has been a better second half from Switzerland. The change of So on at half-time has worked for them. As Dion says, the change for Colombia of Quintero and Campaz has yielded early results, coming on a few moments ago. And looking lively as it's picked up by Mexica over on the far side. He's got a bit of space to run into, that's closed off by So plays it in field to Quintero, lovely ball controlled by Puerta, now in field to Luis Diaz, just misses him. Diaz had come a little bit short and the ball went just ahead of him, and Switzerland will build with Akanji, another brilliant pass through the lines, and Switzerland will try and break onto this with Dan and Doy, and just doing enough was Davinson Sanchez back there. As at the other end, Luis Suarez can't bring that ball under his spell, and Akanji will pick it up. Muheim has gone down, and then Akanji goes down, and the whistle goes for the foul on Akanji, and it will be a free kick to Switzerland. But another great piece of vision from Manuel Akanji for that ball a little earlier in the move. Yeah, he does that well. He really does. He plays, or he tries to play forward as much as possible. He tries to beat that first press with a lovely pass on the floor to his teammates, just to give them a chance to get into that final third. But yeah, that's the kind of positive play we need to see. So, free kick to Switzerland. And Akanji will prepare to take this free kick. It's in fields to his goalkeeper inside his penalty area, Gregor Kobel, out to the right-hand side, and Muheim picks it up once more, the centre half, and sends it back to Kobel. 13 minutes plus added time to play, and still we await that bit of brilliance, or that mistake, or that error, or just that something that is going to see this game decided. Either way, it's not been a classic, but we have to be fair to World Cup 2026. It's given us a fair few. As the ball forwards is shocking from Switzerland and goes all the way out of play for a Colombia goal kick. 0-0. Yeah, it is. It's actually fluctuated this second half. Started quite well, a bit more energy, a few chances from Colombia, better football, and it's sort of gone back to what it was in the first half, which is a very, very slow pace of a game. The game's really stretched, actually. There's no real areas that they can play in tight. It's just a very big stretched out pitch. There's long runs, long balls. As Colombia try and retain possession in the centre circle, good fit in from Xhaka, and here's Dan and Doy, infield to Xhaka once more, and he chops it to the right and will be picked up by Reeder, and now So down the right hand side, ball into the penalty area, stooping header from Davinson Sanchez, picked up by Freuler, right hand side of the box. It's So once more, chops it back to Freuler just inside the area, dinks the ball across looking for Ndoye, headed away by Daniel Munoz, and Colombia will get there first through Campaz, the substitute, down the right hand side, and Ndoye got the footing. Colombia don't get a free kick, they're screaming for one, and Ndoye has it, advancing towards the penalty area, plays it in field. It's Granit Xhaka, 30 yards out, central position. Now Zakaria getting forward, has So on the overlap. Zakaria plays it in instead, and it's ahead of Mbolo, who'd fallen anyway, and it goes behind for a Colombia goal kick. It's goalless, 11 minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, Zakaria crossing the ball in, Freuler crossing the ball in from the right hand side, corner of the box of the 18-yard, and there's only two players in there in red shirts, Mbolo and Ndoye, and they're not really committing
definitely the midfield players aren't committing themselves to getting in the box. You have to commit forward. There has to be a point where you say, right, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to gamble. But at the moment, they're not. Or anybody, no side is.
Munoz will steer it back. Davinson Sanchez barged over by Bralon Bolo. And Sanchez, as he gets up, then a little bit of pushing and shoving between them, and the referees had to come over and separate them. And it's going to be a free kick to Colombia. But again, the frustration just boiling over for Bralon Bolo. And then in the end, handshake between the pair of them, Sanchez and Mbolo. And Sanchez will leave the free kick for his goalkeeper, Camilo Vargas. 10.5 minutes to go. It's goalless. Let's head back to Wimbledon. There is drama there. Russell Fuller.
Because with exactly 5 hours on the match clock, Felix Auger-Aliassime has just held serve. 6 games all, final set. A 10-point tiebreak will decide whether the Canadian or 39-year-old Novak Djokovic plays Jannik Sinner in Friday afternoon's Wimbledon men's singles semi-final.
Thank you very much, Russell. You can listen to the conclusion of that thrilling match over on 5 Sports Extra right now, as Colombia are preparing to make a double change, but Switzerland with a set piece are going to get things moving already. One of the players coming on is going to be Richard Rios, their midfielder, who many expected would play a big part for Colombia at this tournament, but he's seen his place in the side supplanted by Gustavo Puerta. And Cucho Hernandez, the former Watford man, is also going to enter the field, as Manuel Akanji has it for Switzerland, plays it in field to Muheim, and all the way back now to Kobel, as again the Colombia fans inside the stadium, BC Place here in Vancouver, raise their voices once again. The ball is cleared over the halfway line. Lukimi does well, leaps and wins the head of the tall Colombian centre half. Colombia trying to keep it alive. Zakaria himself does well. Luis Diaz wants a free kick outside the centre circle. He's not going to get it, and so will steer it all the way back to Remo Freuler. And Switzerland have it once more just inside their own half. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0. Argentina awaits in the quarter-finals, of which we will have commentary of every single one on 5 Live and BBC Sounds for you. Thursday, France against Morocco. Friday, Spain, Belgium. Saturday, of course, it's Norway, England. And Sunday, Argentina against either Switzerland and Colombia. And we are no nearer to finding out who that is going to be. This final place in the last 8 of the World Cup 2026, as Ndoye has it down the left-hand side. Switzerland coming forward. And forward now goes Rieder. Nicely worked by Switzerland this. And Muheim then will concede the throw back to Wimbledon. Russell Fuller.
No advantage yet in the 10-point tiebreak. Lung-busting rally won by a Novak Djokovic drop shot to take the first point, but Felix Auger-Aliassime has levelled a score at 1 point all.
Thank you, Russell. Commentary on Sports Extra will keep you right up to date here on 5 Live as this double change is made for Colombia. Crystal Palace's Jefferson Lerma is the first to make way, replaced by Richard Rios. And on comes Cucho Hernandez, and he is on for Luis Suarez. Dion Dublin.
Well, they're having a go. Colombia very positive substitutions, especially in going forward. They're going to have to try and create a lot more in that final third. That's what the substitutions have come on for. Go and win the game for us.
Here goes Switzerland down the left-hand side. It's Dan Ndoye. He's trying to win the corner, and he's done so. 0-0. Switzerland with the set piece on this near side. 7.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, Ndoye's done well down the left-hand side. Every single time he's got it. Yeah, he has been doubled up by defenders, but he's tried to get down to the touchline and pull it back, and he has done on a few occasions without the commitment of his teammates, unfortunately. Is it going to be a set piece that sets these two apart?
Well, Switzerland's have one here, near side, it's Rieder. Colombia have a player down in the box, it's headed away anyway, comes to the edge of the area, Xhaka dinks it back in. Colombia should be able to clear and do so with Mexica, who's going to run it away down this left-hand side, and they've got yellow shirts streaming forward. On the right-hand side, one of them's Quintero, brilliant ball, plays it forward into the area just ahead of Campaz, and Kobel on the stretch just gets there, and the flag is up for offside anyway. Do you know what, Dion? Every single time it's been exciting in this game, it feels like the flag's gone up for offside. And anyway, the team can't make the best of the chance. Back to Wimbledon, Russell Fuller.
Candera Auger-Aliassime, service winner Djokovic. Djokovic leads the tiebreak 3-1, first to 10s in the semi-finals.
Thanks, Russell. Commentary over on 5 Sports Extra. So drama at Wimbledon in the closing stages of that match. We're going to get drama at some point. I promise you, listeners, it's a fact, because we're going to get a late winner, we're going to get an extra time winner, or we're going to get penalties. So if you stayed with us this long, don't give up now. Why would you listen through the first 84 minutes, which hasn't been great, and then miss out on the drama?
It starts now, here we go.
Here's Muheim down the left hand side for Switzerland. They have it just outside the area. Rieder dispossessed by a combination of yellow shirts, 2 or 3 of them around him, and Campaz, nice ball in field to find Puerta. Out to the left hand side, and Mejica, who's looking for options. He wanted Diaz to come short, and he did so. Through the centre was Cucho Hernandez, the former Watford man, but Diaz will keep it on the left hand side. Out to the right they play it now, and Colombia, and Daniel Munoz of Crystal Palace, who's got 2 goals at this World Cup so far for Colombia. He's had a great tournament. Quintero picks it up now, out to the right hand side, and his fellow substitute Campaz plays the ball towards the area. It's cleared away by Dan Ndoye, and will spin out to this right hand side right in front of the Colombia coach Néstor Lorenzo, as Quintero plays it forward once again. It's Munoz, now Campaz. Oh, lovely little bit of skill to get him past Muheim. Campaz dinks the ball into the area. It's blocked away by Akanji and calmly played away by Switzerland and Rieder. He's only got Mbolo up there, and Mbolo will chase this. There might have been a little push in there as well. Referee's saying no foul. I think Colombia are unfortunate there. Switzerland are going to make a double change, and they're going to bring on their forward Cedric Itten and their defender Sylvain Widmer. What do we think about that challenge there as Sanchez went down? In a moment, Dion, we'll come to you, but let's get back to Wimbledon. Russell Fuller.
Still slight advantage Novak Djokovic. First of all, an error from him on the backhand, and now a volley error from Felix Auger-Aliassime. So Djokovic leads the 10-point tiebreak 4-2 after 5 hours and 6 minutes on centre court.
So here come those changes for Switzerland. Commentary for Wimbledon continues over on 5 Sports Extra. So Widmer is going to come on for Denis Zakaria. It's going to be a straight swap. And Cedric Itten, the top scorer for Fortuna Düsseldorf this season in the German second tier. They were actually relegated to the third tier. Got 16 goals for them. Former Rangers man. He is on as well. And he has replaced Brel and Mbolo. And to say it's not been Mbolo's day-to-day deal would be a real understatement.
Yeah, been pretty isolated up there on his own. He's really worked hard. He's had it hard, by the way. The 2 centre-halves have given him a hard time physically and mentally. Sometimes you just cannot get into the game. What I will say is, though, Campaz and Quintero that have come on have made a difference for Colombia. They're getting the ball. Again, Tim, who knows this side and these players incredibly well, he called it. They've got beautiful left foots, the 2 of them, and they're making things happen. They're playing the correct passes at the right time, trying to find those runs in yellow shirts.
3 minutes to play, still goalless here between Switzerland and Colombia in Vancouver, as Cucho Hernandez, the former Watford man, wins a free kick on the halfway line for Colombia. He's the joint top scorer for Real Betis this season, 15 goals. And on to try and make that difference for Colombia. It's had a very Spain-Portugal feel about this one in terms of what this last 16 game has shaped up to be in terms of performance. But of course we got late drama. We got Mikel Merino's late winner for Spain. Are we going to get late drama in added time here, or is it going to be extra time or perhaps penalties that sees the final side through to the quarterfinals, where they will face Argentina, the winners of this one, as Richard Rios takes that ball away from Granit Xhaka and gets Colombia's free kick underway quickly. Here's Quintero, plays it forward, nice layoff by Munoz. Quintero will pick it up once more as Colombia come forward, and it's Quintero again who really is pulling the strings in midfield since coming on. They have it over on the far side, ball into the area. Colombia have a player down, but it was Campaz. The referee says absolutely, I'm not interested in that, and it's going to be a Switzerland goal kick. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, Campaz moaning there that he's been dragged back by Ndoye, I think it was. Campaz running down the right hand side, the cross comes from the left, and I think it's Ndoye that just maybe grabs him back. Not a lot of contact there, not enough contact to make you fall on the back on your backside and moan at the referee, I can tell you that. Terrible.
90 seconds plus added time to play. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0, live from Vancouver here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Argentina scored a late winner in their comeback 3-2 victory over Egypt. They were 2-0 down in that game. We haven't had the same drama in match, but we still have the chance of a late winner in normal time as Switzerland have the free kick just inside the Colombia half. It's that little slice of red-shirted Switzerland fans away to our left. Watch this on. Back to Russell at the tennis.
Novak Djokovic in charge of the tie-break, 6-3 up. He just won a 19-shot rally, wanted more noise from centre court. Cliff Richard obliged. He was on his feet, waving his arms. The 39-year-old is 4 points away from an 8th consecutive Wimbledon semi-final.
For a moment there, I thought you meant Cliff Richard was 39. Russell, but yes. Djokovic, at his age, what a player, what another moment this could be for a man who has given so much delight to the world of tennis. Closing stages over on Sports Extra. Switzerland have the ball inside the area. Players tumbling everywhere, both of Colombia and of Switzerland. Referee again uninterested. Colombia clear. Switzerland have it on the right-hand side. Ball out to the right from Widmer, picked up by So, and now Freuler, well closed down, the foot in from Cucho Hernandez for Colombia, but Switzerland still have it just inside their own half. It's goalless. We are now into added time, 5 minutes of added time to play, or it's extra time in this final last 16 tie at the World Cup 2026 as Freuler leaves it. It's cleared away by Rios, picked up by Gustavo Puerta, the man who's replaced him in the starting lineup, but now they're combining for Colombia, but it's played straight into Nico Alvedi by Puerta, and Switzerland have it once more. It's Granit Xhaka just inside the Colombia half, central position, 0-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Somebody's going to be a late hero. It's So, plays it forward, ball into the area, and it's dragged right across goal. What an opportunity that was for Dan Ndoye. It was right on the angle, but he couldn't pick out Itten in the centre, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw to Colombia, and Switzerland are going to make another change. And here comes Ruben Vargas. Again, he was one of the players, like So, who had to come out of training early yesterday. So his fitness in question, but they are going to use him from the bench because they could be heading to extra time very shortly. But they're not waiting for that to bring on Vargas. 3 goals for Sevilla this season, but at this tournament he's been great. 2 goals, 1 assist. They're without Manzambi, who's got 3 goals and 2 assists for Switzerland at this tournament, and he is on Vargas for Nottingham Forest's Dan Ndoye. Dion Dublin.
I'm surprised they've been taking Ndoye off, to be honest with you. That little half chance there, I think Ndoye would have been one of those, would have given them the option to score more goals, however, or a goal. Vargas and him in that front line would have been so much better.
Colombia in possession, 0-0 here, back to Wimbledon. Russell Fuller.
Felix Auger-Aliassime's backhand is letting him down at critical moments. A couple of errors since you were last here, and Djokovic extends his lead in the tiebreak. 8-4 up, Vicky. So 2 points from the finishing line and another Wimbledon semi-final.
Thank you, Russell. Closing stages on Sports Extra. What an effort it's been from the Canadian at Wimbledon. That is Djokovic going to get it over the line once again. Here's Alvedi for Switzerland. Who will get it over the line here between Switzerland and Colombia? It's 0-0. We've got 3 minutes of added time to play, or it's extra time in the last 16 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Switzerland pick it up once again just inside their own half. It's Alvedi. Is either side going to be brave, or is either side going to feel the weight of making a crucial mistake at this moment? It's Switzerland at the moment who look more on the front foot. Colombia looking to hit them on the counter if they can get possession, but Switzerland at the moment, as I say, on the front foot, will now pass it back to Akanji, but they are pushing, they are probing, they are looking for a final chance in normal time. As So plays it out to the right hand side, the ball is cleared into the penalty area and it got a deflection. It's going to be a Switzerland corner over on the far side. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka wanting Vargas there. I mean, he rolled it into Granit Xhaka, and Xhaka's literally in the centre of the pitch. He wants Vargas to spin him behind. Vargas comes to feet. Xhaka's getting a little bit frustrated here because he wants to play forward a little bit more positive, but all his teammates are coming towards him away from the goal.
90 seconds of added time to go. Are we about to see more late drama at the 2026 World Cup? It's Rieder who stands over this corner for Switzerland, who sent the height up from the back. Everybody back there for Colombia. Quintero, the only player for them outside the penalty area, trying to block off the run of Muheim. As the corner is swung in from the far side, it's cleared away by Davinson Sanchez inside his own 6-yard box, and Colombia will help it on. Diaz is looking to counter over the halfway line and cleared away by Remo Freuler out to the right-hand side. And let's head back to Wimbledon for match points. Russell Fuller.
5 match points for Novak Djokovic. He leads this 10-point tiebreak 9-4. It's Felix Auger-Aliassime, 14 years his junior, the 3rd seed, who's serving. It's a second serve. Backhand reply from Djokovic. Forehand Auger-Aliassime. Djokovic with the forehand. Auger-Aliassime's backhand flies over the baseline. And the 39-year-old has won it in 5 hours and 15 minutes. Novak Djokovic, arms aloft in centre court. He's in an 8th consecutive Wimbledon semi-final, a 15th in total, and he continues to defy belief at the age of 39. Djokovic will play Sinner back on centre court on Friday afternoon.
Thank you so much, Russell. Another epic victory in the career of Novak Djokovic. As here, Switzerland thought they had a free kick, but instead it's gone the way of Colombia, and we've got 10 seconds to play. And Dion, I think we know where we're going. 0-0.
Still time. If only there was more time.
There, though? Well, there's your answer. No, even your optimism, Dion, couldn't eke out that game, that normal time for a little longer. It's not been a classic, but as we say, if you've stuck with us for this long, we're going to either get an extra time winner or somebody's going to win on penalties. And regardless of the quality of the rest of the game, that's always exciting, isn't it?
Well, it has to be, because that 96 minutes wasn't exciting. I'm pretty sure both of these sides are not happy with their performances. They know they've got a lot more to give. They have to give it now in this next half an hour. I'm sure they don't want to go to penalties, but they've got to do just that little bit more. This is where the manager earns his money. This is where the captains earn their money. Positivity's needed. You now have to gamble.
So, extra time, here we come in Vancouver. After normal time, it finishes Switzerland 0, Colombia 0.
Well, I mean, all I could say after that, Dion, was the tennis has been fantastic.
Thanks, Bob. I couldn't get it on. I tried to get it on my screens here, but I couldn't get it on.
Honestly, Dion, the longest men's quarter-final there has ever been at Wimbledon, and Novak Djokovic, at however old he is now, has danced on centre court at winning that. It was absolutely phenomenal, and they're covering it on Sports Extra at the moment. It is still on BBC One. Djokovic is about to do his post-match interview. He goes into that semi-final, as Russell said, will take on Yannick Sinner on Friday afternoon, which will be a must-watch and a must-listen. The number 1 seed against the number 7 seed. Vicky said it in commentary, does anybody want to be brave? And that's the answer. That's the question, isn't it, Dion? I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is either, but both teams are in huddles right now. Granit Xhaka's doing all the speaking in the Switzerland huddle. The manager's doing the talking in the Colombia huddle, but they're just... This is where, unfortunately, Chappers, instead of playing safe and playing round the back and going from left to right, play it forward. Get the people in behind, cross the ball, get players in the box. Last thing you want is penalties at this stage.
Tim Vickery, what did Colombia do here? Where is their weight of history and what they need to do?
Well, Grandmaster Dublin has got it all right all the way along, hasn't it? It's been a stalemate. It probably speaks volumes. We talked about this going into the game, that Colombia's top scorer in this competition is the right back, Munoz of Palace, and he's been kept at home, hasn't he, by Switzerland with Undoy. Now Vargas has come on. But let's look on the bright side. We've got another 30 minutes to enjoy the wonderful talents and the wonderful left foot of Colombia's number 20, Juan Fernando Quintero. Yeah. I will not give up hope of him producing something very, very special before we have to go to the psychological torture of penalties.
I don't know if you've... Going back to the earlier game, which had all the drama and all the controversy, have you seen the Egypt manager's quotes after their defeat to Argentina?
No. What?
He has said he will not watch another minute of the World Cup after feeling his side suffered an injustice. He said it's all about money. They want Messi to stay in the tournament. In football, many things happen off the pitch because of interest. What happened was unfair. Egypt deserved to qualify. We were the better team. And because of everything...
Well then, didn't he?
Well, yeah, well. but because of everything that's happened, if there are controversial decisions that are perceived to go Argentina's way, I think this will crank up over the course of the rest of this tournament, don't you? I mean, I've already seen online stuff. I think the refereeing team reportedly for the France game are going to be Argentinian. Now, actually, the refereeing team for Argentina's game today were French.
It's French,
but
yeah.
People are going to start to look even more so for conspiracy theories elsewhere, aren't they?
They are, and it's difficult to know what referees can do, isn't it? Because however clean the refereeing, however good the organisation, there will always be controversy. So many decisions, a hairline, they're subjective. There will be controversy as long as there is football.
And there is a sense, Dion, that FIFA have brought this on themselves.
Yeah, and I think Tim's spot on. I think if anything doesn't go the way of a certain team, and there's maybe a chance that it could have gone the other way, but it hasn't, and they'll see the negative in it, and they'll want to do something about it, and they'll want some kind of inquest as well. So, who's brought it on themselves? This competition has.
Half an hour from penalties, Vicky.
Thank you, chappers. Yeah, just appeal at Egypt. You never know. They could suspend exactly. A suspension, suspend a result. Give it a try. So, Colombia in possession. What a tournament it's been for many, many reasons. But we can see, and we have seen, some great games, some great football, some huge controversies off the pitch, very much so. But this, the final half an hour, perhaps plus penalties of this last 16. It's Switzerland, Colombia, it's goalless. Who is going to be the hero? It's Colombia in possession. On the left-hand side with Luis Diaz, the former Liverpool man. Colombia in their yellow shirts, their white shorts and their white socks. Switzerland all in red. Colombia playing from right to left, and the ball chipped forward to Rios, who picks it up, exchanges passes with Munoz, and Rios will play it back once more to Quintero, who really has impressed for Colombia since coming off the bench. That's a lovely ball out to the left-hand side. Luis Diaz goes down, wins the free kick, and Vidma is absolutely fuming, wags both fingers at the referee. Diaz still down, looks to be in some discomfort, and Colombia will have the set piece just about level with that corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. 0-0.
I mean, Quintero there just getting the ball everywhere. There are yellow shirts on the ball. Quintero's there running after the ball as if to say, give it to me, I'll make it happen. I can see what Tim's talking about with that wonderful left foot. His vision's amazing. He tries passes that no other player in a yellow shirt is trying. He seems to be playing them as well, and he's been allowed to do it. He's on the ball here. The cross is level with the 18-yard box, left-hand side. About 25 yards out. Is he going to be whipped in with that left foot of Quintero's?
It certainly looks that way. Luis Diaz up to his feet, who won the set piece, is inside the penalty area as Quintero does send it in left-footed. It was a good delivery, it's cleared away. Colombia trying to meet it, and Davinson Sanchez volleys over, but earlier Colombia had a player down. They're appealing for a penalty, and Switzerland have seen the ball go out of play for a goal kick. Well, let's see. You and I saw this in Belgium-Senegal, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where Yuri Tillemans went down, then the shot was driven. It was Luca Bacchio, wasn't it? And blazed it over, but then they did call it back for a penalty to Belgium. Deep in extra time, which Tillemans scored. So
it's Muhaim on Campas, I think it is.
Yeah. What do we think about this?
Are they going to look at this? Because I thought Campas might have had control of this. There's no offside. The ball from Quintero's just whipped in. What a ball that is. And it just falls to the far post to Campas. He actually takes the ball by Muhaim. And I thought he may have got caught with Muhaim's right thigh onto his right thigh. Nothing at all. Play on.
Yeah, play on. They will have looked at it VAR, but we didn't see what they call the hard check come up on our screen. And we are now back underway, and Switzerland have immediately won a free kick. And it's Muhaim who was just involved there over on the far side, midway through their own half.
There's been a lot of players down, but not. I don't know how many times the physios have been on, to be honest with you. don't think there's anything wrong with that challenge. We're watching that one back. It's just a bit of a follow-through. But I just think, we must have had, I don't know, 15, 20 players down on the pitch, and I think the physios have been on once. That just goes to show that the referees are getting most of those decisions right in regards to little bits of contact. Players going down, referees not stopping it, players getting up. Perfect way to referee a game.
Kobel in possession, the Switzerland goalkeeper. He is in goal for them as they take a little bit of a chance inside their own area.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he? Elvedi's been brilliant.
He has been very good, Elvedi, as Davinson Sanchez commits a foul. Itten is down, and Davinson Sanchez is going to go into the book here. And the Colombia substitutes are absolutely furious. Their manager, Nestor Lorenzo, the Argentinian, is actually on the pitch. And a member of Colombia's backroom staff is going to get booked as well for his protests. So Davinson Sanchez into the book, the former Tottenham man. And Colombia were absolutely furious with that. They're still having to be calmed down by the fourth official here. But the upshot is Switzerland free kick. They've got Kobel in goal. The back four now of Widmer, Elvedi, Akanji and Muheim. Ahead of them, So, Jaka and Freuler, with Vargas now and Reeder supporting Itten, the striker, up top. As that yellow card is confirmed inside the stadium, as Akanji plays it out to the left-hand side, and Muheim will clear it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Kobel. As Colombia just put on the squeeze a little bit. They've got Vargas in goal, the back four of Munoz, Sanchez, Lukumi and Mejica. Ahead of them Puerta, Rios and Quintero, now with Campas and Hernandez and Diaz up top, as Switzerland again have a player down. No free kick given. It's headed forward by Muheim. It's going to go all the way through to Camilo Vargas. He played about 5 minutes of extra time and can't think of a move that's been put together yet, Dion.
I don't think anything's been put together. It's a very disjointed game. It's not a classic. However, both teams still have a huge opportunity to reach the latter stages of this World Cup. Let's not forget the goal right here. The goal is to win the game. If you win it ugly, if you win it by not playing very well, then who cares at the end of the day? Might not be very pretty to watch while it's on, but if you can still get through playing in this way, then take it.
Argentina await in the quarterfinals for the winners of this as Switzerland win another free kick just inside the Colombia half. It's Vargas who's gone down, clutching the small of his back, and the referee comes over again. It's so scrappy at the moment with the number of fouls, the number of players going down. I mean, he does get a little push there from Munoz, but the way that Vargas goes down, I mean, unless he's fallen awkwardly here, Dion.
Yeah, let's see. Oh no physio needed again. I don't know how many times that's happened today. It's just, I mean, it really frustrates me that everybody's going down on the floor, rolling about for no reason at all. It's a contact sport. Expect to get pushed and expect things to hurt. You know, footballers do tackle.
Here is Elvedi for Switzerland, out to the right-hand side, and Sylvain Widmer over the halfway line and plays it in field to Djibril So. Plays it out to the right once more, and Widmer, Itten's making the run through the centre. Reeder's making the run down the right, and Reeder is found, and the challenge is made. And it's adjudged that has got a deflection off Reeder, and it's going to go behind for a Colombia goal kick. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, it's a frustrating game to watch for sure, with the amount of players going down, but Colombia now just trying to make the pitch as big as possible.
Giving the ball away.
Yeah,
and Itten can't latch onto it inside the penalty area as the ball was played forward to him by Jaka, and that's a lovely turn over on the far side. Colombia might have had a free kick there, but the referee has allowed play to continue, and that's a lovely ball out to the left-hand side, and Luis Diaz just took one touch too many. Widmer made the interception, Colombia corner, and do you know what? 7 minutes in, I'm actually going to get excited about that, Dion, because that's the first thing we've seen happen in extra time.
Absolutely. Campas on the right-hand side in his own box, 10 yards away from the halfway line, lovely bit of skill. And then he plays a lovely crossfield ball, left-footed, little bit of fade on it. Really good ball to his teammate, out wide to Luis Diaz. They've got a corner.
And listen to the fans inside the stadium, desperate for a bit of action. As the ball is swung in and it's off the bar, cleared away. Colombia still trying to fashion a chance. Cucho Hernandez then dispossessed. What a delivery from Quintero. And finally, we have that little bit of action. Colombia's so close. Coble might have got something on it as well. But my word, that is by far the closest we have come to a breakthrough. It's come in extra time as Colombia spray the ball out to the left-hand side. Once more, Quintero this time can't control. And Switzerland will play it forward. Nice layoff by So. Now, can they be stung into action, having had that very close scare? No, they can't. It's played straight out of play by Vidma, looking for So. What an opportunity this was for Colombia. It's Lukumi, the centre half, and it rattles the woodwork. Cannons off the crossbar. What a powerful header. Colombia so close to taking the lead in extra time.
Yeah, what a corner, by the way. Quintero just... He makes the keeper think he can get it, and the keeper has to stop.
As the shot from distance, a good part of 35 yards is driven in by Richard Rios. And that not quite so like it for Colombia. But finally, Dion, we've seen a bit of goalmouth action.
We've hit the bar. Thank you very much. Again, it's the quality of the two subs, the two left-footed wonders. Absolutely brilliant, changing things for Colombia, trying things, doing things out of the ordinary, positive stuff.
Well, it goes nowhere near to matching the drama of Wimbledon with Novak Djokovic through after over 5 hours. But finally, we do have something proper to tell you about here in Vancouver as Colombia win a free kick. And the question now, Dion, is will this galvanise Colombia? I mean, the fans have just quietened down around us once again, but we could hear them lift their voices. We could hear them latch onto just something that they could cheer about and make a noise about. And Colombia, at the moment, look buoyed.
They do look buoyed, and it is unfortunately just down to those two subs, because the players that have played for most of this game really haven't done anything to affect it. The substitutions have made the difference. And I think Switzerland now are thinking if we can go man to man on Campas and Quintero, we might actually quash their danger men.
Here they come once more, Colombia. Cucho Hernandez out to the right-hand side. Switzerland with bodies back, but this is an effort driven in, and it was just about pushed round the post by Gregor Kobel. What an effort that was from range, cutting in from the right-hand side. Campas, the substitute, letting fly, left-footed, and Kobel arms it away with that forearm. It was an awkward save from Kobel, and it was a super effort from Campas.
Great strike from 30 yards out on the angle, lovely save.
Corner for Colombia is swung in, difficult one. Kobel got there and the whistle's gone. Switzerland had cleared anyway, and a couple of low fives between Kobel and his defenders. But Switzerland at the moment are just hanging on a little bit. 4 minutes to go until the break in extra time.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the strike from Campas there, a little bit more detail on that one is because he struck the ball from the bottom of the ball. It went high as if it was going into the top corner. And then he dipped, and Kobel didn't know what to do, and he thought, let me just get something on it, and bounced it away for a corner. It's a really good save because the movement on the ball was so strong.
Here are Switzerland. Granit Xhaka trying to galvanise them once again. Elvedi plays it back to Xhaka, who's the furthest outfield player back for Switzerland at the moment, midway through his own half as Colombia put on the press and Switzerland play through it. That's what Xhaka wanted. Just outside the centre circle, he's well closed down by Campas, but eases away from the Colombian attacker. And Switzerland will keep it in over on the left-hand side. It's goalless here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Switzerland win another free kick over on the far side. It's Vargas down again. And they'll have the set piece. And still we await the breakthrough here in Vancouver, Dion Dublin.
We wait and we wait and we wait, and we're being patient. We're waiting for that moment to arise, or to arrive, should I say. It will come. Something has to happen. Who's going to make it happen?
Well, it won't be Fabian Rieder. He's been replaced by the Burnley man, Zeki Amdouni. Just made 4 substitute appearances for Burnley this season after returning from his ACL injury at the start of May. And he is a penalty taker as well. So, Switzerland perhaps thinking about that, but also a bit of fresh legs for this final period of extra time. We're heading towards half-time and extra time as the ball is pulled across for Switzerland. De Witte went down, might have been caught there, shot away, saved by Vargas. So keeps it alive. It was Amdouni in there. What an impact that would have been. He's still in there as Colombia try and head away from their own 6-yard box, and they do so. Eventually, that offside flag's gone up again for something in there. So Colombia will have a free kick inside the home penalty area. But I mean, we've seen some instant impacts from Romelu Lukaku, you and I, Dion, inside the stadiums. But Zeki Amdouni drawing the save from Vargas with what were his first and second touches of the ball in this game.
Yeah, Amdouni there on the penalty spot. Just turns, can't believe he's looked that he can turn and shoot. I mean, he's interesting one. I actually don't think there is an offside there, to be honest with you. Looked like he was onside anyway. It's been given, and Amdouni was denied.
Yeah, strange one from the replay we saw there. Not too sure why that was given, but Switzerland now, Boyd, coming forward again. In fields to So, he will steer it all the way back to Nico Elvedi. We're in the final minutes of the first half here in extra time. We wait to see what added time there will be as the Colombia fans jeer as Switzerland play the ball around, and it's Amdouni receives the ball from Xhaka, and Colombia intercept, and then they win the free kick, and the yellow card is going to be brandished towards Miro Muhaim, and Colombia will win the set piece midway through their own half on the far right hand side. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball as wide as possible now, Colombia, as quickly as possible, just to spread that back four a little bit so there's gaps for the runs. Every dead ball now that Colombia get has been left for Quintero, and even if you know what he's going to do, it's really hard to stop it because he's putting that ball exactly where he wants it to be.
1 minute of added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Colombia in possession down the left hand side. It's Cucho Hernandez in fields and nicely collected by Rios. He's done really well. He's wriggled through, lays it off to Luis Diaz, brilliantly blocked away by Switzerland, and it goes out of play for a Colombia corner. And they cannot believe, Colombia, that they haven't managed to find the back of the net there.
Yeah, I really was expecting Diaz just to curl that into the top corner. I've seen him do it in the warm-up, but he was just off balance, falling away. And as he was falling away, it gave the defender time to come across and block it again. Elvedi outstanding back there.
So, corner for Colombia. This will be the last action of this first half of extra time. Quintero stands over it. The referee's gone into the penalty area because he's seen something he doesn't like, with the yellow shirts dotted around the red ones of Switzerland. As Quintero waits, now we're ready to go. Quintero's delivery, it's swung in, it's cleared away by Switzerland, and Colombia will pick it up. And there is no more time to continue in this first period of extra time, but at least, Dion, we've had some goal-mouth action. It remains 0-0 though.
Yeah, a little bit of goal-mouth action. Colombia, I mean, again, it's down to the two players that Tim's pulled out. They've pulled the strings, they've made things happen, they've tried things that nobody else has tried. Whether you're in a red shirt or a yellow shirt, a little bit of excitement, but still not enough.
So the players gathering together. 15 more minutes to play. The red shirts of Switzerland will come together. There are cooling towels, grey cooling towels that are being given to the players to wipe their face and place on their heads, because again, we're about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, or approaching 3 o'clock in Vancouver, and it is very muggy inside this stadium. Low 20s outside, but because this enormous white roof is over us, and unfortunately I think my fan has run out of battery, so we don't even have the cool little breeze to waft towards us to keep us sharp.
You're looking to have a fan.
So, here we go, chappers. There's got to be drama at some point, but we did at least see Lukumi rattle the crossbar with that header.
So, as I was saying to you both, the tennis was really...
so out of order.
I know. At the moment, it feels like if anybody's going to nick something here, and maybe they're the ones who want to nick it a little bit more, it's Colombia.
It is without a doubt, just from that, first period of extra time, most definitely. But it's 0-0, chappers, and as bad as both of these teams have been, they've both still got a very good chance of going through with a poor performance. Well, they've got 15 minutes now at the 2026 World Cup to do something, you have to remember what's at stake. As bad as it's been, the goal is huge still, and they still have to remember that.
And also you have to, and when you think about that as well, and then Vicky, you mentioned the conditions and you mentioned the cooling aids that Switzerland are using. I've just seen pictures within the Colombian huddle. They don't appear to be having those same cooling aids. So you probably have to take into account the conditions for the Swiss in particular here, and thinking, well, maybe we do just get through to penalties.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. There's been I'm not saying they have completely sat back Switzerland, and of course Zeki Amdouni, the Burnley man, came off the bench and almost put them ahead. A really good stop from Vargas, but you just got the sense at periods in the extra time that Switzerland were already thinking about penalties, and I think this is it. We've said it, haven't we, Mark? This is about who's going to be brave, and at some point, if it goes to penalties, every player who steps up is going to show that bravery by taking that responsibility on their shoulders. But is either side really going to go for it in this last 15 minutes of extra time? We will find out. We're underway in the second half. Switzerland all in red, playing from right to left against Colombia in the yellow shirts, the white shorts and the white socks. And again, starts exactly as it did for the first half, but this time it's Switzerland just passing the ball between their centre halves. But here goes Akanji, who has shown on several occasions that he can pick a pass, and he does so out to the right hand side and finds Widmer. It's forward by Freuler, looking for the run of Cedric Itten, but again the offside flag goes up, and it's going to be a free kick to Colombia deep in their own territory. A little bit of afters between Davinson Sanchez and Cedric Itten, but it's all calmed down by the assistant and the referee, and it's going to be a free kick to Colombia. And normally, Dion, when it comes to penalties, you're thinking about, well, which end is it going to be, which fans are going to be behind the goal. It's the Colombian fans in the lower tier at both ends that are behind both goals. The goal away to our left, you've got this little red slice of Switzerland fans, but in terms of your eye line as a player, you're not going to see them. I mean, they'll try and make their voices heard, but they're high up in the second tier. So either way, if it does go to penalties, the advantage is going to be with Colombia.
Yeah, it is, most definitely. However, Vicky, I don't think it's going to penalties. I'm staying positive.
You heard it here first. Well, let's see what Colombia can do with this. Switzerland have a player down inside the penalty area, and the whistle's gone, and it will be a free kick to Switzerland inside their own box. Now, I think that's one thing I'd say. I think generally the game, the referee has blown for a lot of fouls, and particularly inside the penalty area, it feels like if there's any sort of infringement, that will always go the way of the defender.
He seems to be making a decision in the important parts of the pitch with contact if there's either box, and then he runs away from the from where the free kick's been given, and he'll run away so nobody can confront him, and it kind of diffuses the situation.
So long forward from Switzerland's goalkeeper Kobel. Colombia have stolen it though, and they play it forward looking for Cucho Hernandez. It's cleared away at the back though by Elvedi, and out to the left hand side and picked up by Ruben Vargas, only fit enough to appear from the bench, Vargas, but he is looking bright and closing down there as Colombia have it with Mejica on the left hand side. A really poor pass played forward, just tried something a little bit clever there, Mejica, and it didn't come off, and it goes out of play for a Switzerland throw. 0-0, 13 minutes to go plus added time until penalties.
Yeah, it is it's looking that way at the moment, both sides, or should I say Switzerland, who have had the ball at the start of this second period of extra time and just moving it slowly. Is there now that point where you think, right, let's just hold on to what we've got and find our way into penalties?
Muheim under pressure for Switzerland, steers it back to his goalkeeper Kobel inside his own penalty area. He's closed down by Cucho Hernandez, and Kobel will send it out to the right hand side. The header is by Lukumi, who hit the bar with a header in the first period of extra time. The best goal-mouth action we've seen by far in a game that, I don't know if you say it hasn't lived up to expectations, because I'm not really sure what my expectations were, because both of these sides are very hard to breach, but Colombia at least are usually attacking, and they have had 12 attempts on goal to Switzerland's 6 in this game. As the ball goes out on this near side, but it has been called back for a Colombia free kick, which they will take midway through their own half. It's goalless, and we've got 11 minutes plus added time to play, and we're heading to penalties as Vargas will clear it over the halfway line. It's looking for Munoz of Crystal Palace, who chests it down right in front of his manager, Ernesto Lorenzo. Advantage played, and it's a good one because Colombia have it with Cucho Hernandez. Munoz back up to his feet as well. As Cucho Hernandez steers it back. Puerta got the shout from somebody that Itten was right behind him. Out to the right-hand side, and Davinson Sanchez now. Colombia the better side at the moment in this game, still goalless as Quintero plays it forward. Rios comes to Munoz, right-hand side of the area. Switzerland get a foot in, and then Akanji will clear it off Munoz, and it ends up as a Switzerland goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, when Colombia now find their way into Switzerland's box, they are panic clearances. Everybody's feeling the heat down there and the pace of the game. Not that it's been a quick pace in the game, but you get to the stage now where you've played a lot of minutes and the legs are getting tired. Is it going to be a mistake? Is it going to be something special? It's going to be something.
Kobel plays it forwards. Switzerland have lost it, and then they win it back. Strong but fair challenge from Widmer, and Xhaka has it just inside his own half. Surrounded by a couple of yellow shirts in Cucho Hernandez and Campaz. But Switzerland will work it between their back line into the final 10 minutes of extra time. And we're still goalless here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Xhaka steers it all the way back to Kobel. And again, you can hear the jeers from the Colombia fans who make up, I would say, 98% of support inside the stadium. That little slice of red-shirted Switzerland fans in the second tier away to our left. And Switzerland played around outside the centre circle once more. Out to the right-hand side they go. They've got the option now of Granit Xhaka in the centre midway through the Colombia half. This is very patient from Switzerland. Can they find end product at the end of it as the ball is chipped to the edge of the penalty area? Good header back by Quintero, and Munoz will shepherd it back to his goalkeeper Camilo Vargas. Steel Dublin.
Yeah, there has to be a moment in a game like this where they both try to play out from the back, but why not leave it in behind the fullbacks and get them turned, because you've got good players forward, both sides have got good players forward. 4-on-3, 4-on-4, turn them round.
Well, Quintero's been fouled there by Zeki Amdouni on the halfway line, but if there is one side that's trying to win this right now, it's Colombia.
Yeah, definitely, because they're looking to do little 1-2s in the final third, and they are actually looking for their playmakers to play that killer pass and just make something happen for their side. Switzerland are literally keeping it at the back, playing slow, getting it back to the keeper. And Colombia are trying to get forward and play that killer pass.
And they've taken that throw quickly on the far side. Luis Diaz does well to keep it in down the left, plays the ball forwards. It's a lovely crossfield pass from Quintero. Outside the penalty area, he's going to go for the curler and curls it over the angle of post and bar, and we are still goalless. 8 minutes of extra time plus added time to play.
Yeah, Quintero just they had an overlap there. The yellow shirt flying past his right shoulder, which leaves him space inside, and he tries to curl it into that top left hand corner. It curls into the top left hand corner of the stand.
So the jeers will tell you that Switzerland are once again in possession inside their own penalty area as Akanji finds Elvedi and out to the right hand side in Widmer, and all of a sudden the red shirts are moving forward with purpose here. They've got Itten on the shoulder of that Colombian defence. They played it in field, it's found its way to Granit Xhaka, who plays a lovely ball out to this left hand side, and Ruben Vargas, now he can make things happen. Vargas lays it off to Maheim, and now back to Vargas, swings it in right footed. Poor delivery though, the referee had to duck, did very well there to get out of the way of that Colombia clearance as it's picked up by Elvedi on the edge of the centre circle. And now back to Akanji, left hand side, and Muheim out to the left once more, and Vargas taking on Daniel Munoz and plays it to the edge of the area, and Xhaka curls it again just wide of that angle of post and bar. I think Xhaka's a little unfortunate there because the referee just about got out of the way, but it meant that Xhaka couldn't quite set himself and run onto it perfectly cleanly, as we see the referee cam, where it just shows that perfectly. He just does get out of the way of Granit Xhaka, and that's the sort of precision that you need when you're running onto those sort of things.
Just had to rearrange his sights there, Granit Xhaka. The referee was just in his way for a split second there. Munoz there just rolling it back to Granit Xhaka's left foot, edge of the box, 20 yards out on the angle, and we know how good his left foot can be, but concentration levels just broken there by the referee.
Concentration levels of Munoz there for Colombia have just slipped, and that's given Switzerland a throw deep in Colombian territory. And now there are a few Colombia fans around the stadium with their national flags over their faces because Switzerland have a throw. They launch it into the area. It's Vargas. It's flicked on by Colombia, then out of the area. Amdouni trying to bring it down. Quintero's done really well there. Amdouni trying to keep it alive. Thumped away in the end by Davinson Sanchez. Everybody's so deep for Colombia. And the ball has spun away over on the far side. But actually, is the whistle gone there? Looks as though it might be a free kick to Colombia just outside their own penalty area. Yes, it is. And the referee has called the play back and now jogs up towards the halfway line. And we've got 5.5 minutes of extra time plus added time to play. Otherwise, Switzerland 0, Colombia 0 is heading to penalties to decide who will face Argentina in the quarterfinals, who will complete the last 8 lineup at the World Cup as Colombia had the ball inside the area. As Campas, what a chance over the bar! Oh, it was a glorious opportunity for Campas, and he couldn't take it. He's fired it over. What a let-off for Switzerland. Oh, surely Colombia thought that was them in the quarterfinal against Argentina.
And it should have been, Vicky, it really should. I mean, the golden rule as a defender is it's a kick from the keeper. You don't let the ball bounce, you head it back where it comes from. Switzerland let it bounce. Muheim's then, he's wrong-footed, tries to chip it over the head of Campas, and Campas takes a touch. I mean, he's got the keeper to beat from 8 yards. He should be scoring with that left foot of his. That is possibly the best chance of the whole game, and it falls to a quality player who gets it all wrong.
And a player, as Dion says, of quality, who's impressed since coming off the bench. But here goes Luis Diaz, then he goes down. Switzerland aghast, free kick Colombia, left-hand side, midway through the Switzerland half. And again, the drama is just ramping up here in Vancouver. It's Widmer and Diaz coming together, and Switzerland are fuming, and Colombia's fans are buoyed.
Elvedi there, just hands on head as if to say referee, really. And you can hear the noise now of the stadium. The quality of Quintero into the box is coming.
Well, the height's up from the back. Davinson Sanchez is there. Lukumi's there as Quintero swings it in, and the header flicked towards goal, kept in by Rios. Colombia trying to keep it alive inside the penalty area. Diaz though is beaten in the air, and Switzerland will clear. There's nobody in a red shirt forward, and Mojica will race to stop that ball. In fact, he'll let it go out of play because it's going to be a Colombia throw midway through their own half. Well, Lukumi was one of the players up there as Colombia still have a player down inside the Switzerland penalty area, but it's Colombia in possession, and Munoz has just seen that and he said, all right, I'm going to stop here. But Lukumi was up there. Lukumi, who's already hit the bar with a header in extra time, and it's Lukumi who's still down inside the penalty area. But again, Colombia coming close, Dion.
Yeah, coming close, but not really getting the contact they need from a very, very good ball in. Sure. Is that Lukumi there, who's down? I mean, he's stretching like he's got cramp.
But he's also made that universal sign, hasn't he, where he's rotated his hands together to say, look, I need to come off. So they do have the change that they can make, Colombia, and it looks as though they are going to make one as well. And is this going to be a late switch around? Well, he's up to his feet, Lukumi. As you say, Dion, it did look like cramp, but he also did look as though he was saying, look, I've got to come off. And Yerry Mina, it looks as though he's going to come on to replace him, the former Everton man. He actually scored half of Colombia's goals at the World Cup in 2018. He got 3 of them, including against England in the last 16 loss, which Colombia lost on penalties. That is their only penalty shootout in the World Cup. And that is where they're heading, unless somebody's going to be a hero. And Lukumi, who, as we say, has rattled the woodwork with a powerful header in extra time, is not going to be able to continue. So, Yerry Mina, who's currently playing for Cagliari in Serie A, the former Everton man, is on for him. Tall centre-half, 6'5". And he comes to shore up this Colombian defence. Colombia in possession. We've got just over a minute of extra time to play. There will be a bit of added time as Vargas sends it long. Akanji misses his header, but it's cleared away by Muheim and Xhaka and Freuler. Between them will work it forward. Is there going to be a chance for Switzerland late on here? That's a lovely ball. It's Vargas, left-hand side, plays the ball to the edge of the area, and Colombia will make the interception and play it out to the right-hand side. And Quintero, it was Cucho Hernandez getting, no, in fact it was Puerta getting back there for that interception. As Quintero picks it up on the right-hand side, but he can't control, and the ball rolls past his manager, Néstor Lorenzo, and goes out of play for a throw to Switzerland, which Miro Muheim will take. Launched forward, looking for Cedric Itten, who's tussling with Yerry Mina, and Mina gets the better of him and then goes down, draws the foul. 30 seconds of extra time to play, plus added time, and Dion, we are inching nearer to penalty.
Yes, we are. It's looking that way, to be honest with you. They are now getting into a position where they're just keeping hold of what they've got. You've got to go long with this, just go long, see what happens. You might get a flick on, you might get a chance. Playing out from the back is not the way forward now.
Well, can I just say, on our commentary information system in the stadium, they're already flashing up all the stats about penalty shootouts as we enter 1 minute at a time. So they don't have your optimism, Dion.
No, they don't. Not many people do, to be honest with you. But I'm happy to stick with it.
So, ball goes out of play. It's a Switzerland throw, and we're into 1 minute of added time. And the referee is saying, right, Muheim, you've got to take that from exactly where the ball went out. I think we're heading to penalties. This would be, I mean, we saw it with Tielemans, didn't we? Deep in extra time for Belgium, but this would be the latest of late winners for either Switzerland or Colombia, as Switzerland launch it forward. It's Kobel, it's flicked on by Itten, but nobody's really up there. Amdouni won't reach it. Yerry Mina will send it back to Vargas and plays the ball forward. It's chested down by Akanji, and in field now to Muheim. Over the halfway line he goes. Is there to be one final chance for Switzerland? Yerry Mina blocks off that route for Zeki Amdouni and plays it forward to Daniel Munoz, and then Munoz just got a little push in the back, but the referee isn't interested in that. He's interested in full time, and we are heading to penalties. Dion Dublin.
Here we go, eh? Here we go. This is our first one, isn't it, Vicky? It's our first penalty shootout.
It is, and I have to say as well, Chappers, that this is Dion's last game with us here at the tournament. So basically, we're just giving him a good send-off and getting our money's worth, aren't we?
I was just thinking that during the second half of extra time. I was thinking, what a way to go out, Dion. What a way to go out this World Cup. And that was also because at the same time as that, I got given the stat that at the end of 90 minutes, the combined XG for these two teams was the combined 0.7, which is the lowest in normal time of any match at this World Cup.
Oh my word. And listen, I'm not a massive fan of XG, but that's absolutely spot on. Having watched the game and all the extra time. But listen, they've played in a way, I genuinely think Colombia possibly nicked it in regards to quality and the way that they've tried to win it in the last 15-20 minutes, and Switzerland have been quite negative as well, I've got to say. No side really deserved to win it in the 90 minutes and the extra time, so so be it. Let's see what happens now.
3 of the last 4 penalty shootouts that Colombia have been involved in have gone the way of the opposition, which may explain, Dion, why it felt like they went for it a little bit more in extra time.
Yeah, they don't fancy themselves at penalty takers, basically, but they've got 2 unbelievable left-footers on that came off the bench in Quintero and Campas, and they look very, very comfortable with the dead ball, so I can't see them being a problem for Colombia. And Switzerland are very regimented. They're in a little huddle now, Switzerland. The manager's in the middle of the huddle. He's waving his fingers and he's telling them exactly what he expects of them. Nobody's talking but the manager in the Switzerland huddle.
One of those defeats for Colombia in those 4 penalty shootouts was against Argentina in the Copa America, and remember, Argentina lie in wait for the winners of this tie, having beaten Egypt 3-2 earlier, coming from 2-0 down to win that. There was one shot of the crowd with all the Colombian fans, and right in the thick of it was one man in an Argentina shirt. And actually on the subject of the fans, Vicky, so I mean this is a mainly Colombian stadium, they have the majority of the support. When you look to the end is it to your right where there is a tunnel directly behind the goal? Actually.
Yes, both ends actually. So both ends you do have the tunnel. It's the players walk off to the right and there's a tunnel there to the right, and then actually to the left as well there is also a tunnel, but there's the one on the right is the one they're using, and there is this little slice of red-shirted Switzerland fans that we've been talking about during the game, that they are waving their flags, but as we said, they are in the second tier, so they are behind one of the goals away to our left, but the fans in the lower tier, there are so many red shirts, and I can see actually, I mean from here, to be honest, my glasses aren't that good. There could be some Canada fans in here that have turned up with their Canada shirts. We are in Vancouver, but it looks as though there are a few Switzerland fans, or certainly red-shirted fans, dotted around the goal away to our left. To the right you get a little bit of that as well, but it's a massive yellow shirts behind the lower tier of both goals, and even for those Switzerland fans, the players aren't going to look up at that angle, unless they blaze it over the bar and see where it's gone. but big roars from the Colombian fans inside the stadium, but what a huge moment this is for both teams, and we are, as we promised, finally going to get some drama.
We are, and Coble actually has had a good game. I mean, of the shots that there have been, he's the one that saved them, so let's see what he does during this penalty shootout. We sound from the noise of the crowd that we're not far off ready to go. Vicky.
Well, they're actually just still doing they're
still doing the toss, aren't they?
They are. But they're getting hyped up. But now we look as though we are almost ready to go. Although the two captains are still on the halfway line, and now Davinson Sanchez.
He's won the toss.
With James. Yes. So James Rodriguez has gone off. So Davinson Sanchez has taken the armband. Handshakes now between Xhaka and Davinson Sanchez, the former Tottenham man, with the Sunderland captain Granit Xhaka. So the players line up. The penalties will be taken away to our left, and that is the end where, if you can barely hear them, the Switzerland fans are high up in the second tier, but the noise is all coming from Colombia. So it's not been a classic, we can all admit that, but we are going to have late drama in this last 16 tie, this final last 16 tie of the World Cup 2026. So the first penalty will be taken by Colombia, and it will be taken by Quintero. Gregor Kobel and Vargas just getting their final instructions, and Gregor Kobel now beats those orange gloves together. Both goalkeepers have made good saves in this game. As Quintero, off the bench, who has impressed, is going to start his run-up from outside the penalty area for Colombia. It is they who will take the first penalty in the shootout. And Gregor Kobel looking to be the early hero for Switzerland. It's Quintero. Oh, super penalty. Top corner. Kobel went the wrong way, but even if he went the right way, he wasn't stopping that.
That's how you take a penalty. Quintero there, he puts the ball down. He walks out of the penalty area into the edge of the penalty area. He just runs up, no stuttering, puts his laces through the ball. Two keepers are not stopping that. What a start for Colombia. Emphatic penalty.
So, the Switzerland captain, Granit Xhaka, who's already scored a penalty at this World Cup. That was in the 97th minute against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the group stage to wrap up a comfortable victory. This has so much more weight upon it. He is a man who is used to taking that weight upon his shoulders. This to level the penalty shootouts between Switzerland and Colombia at 1-1. Penalty apiece taken. It's Xhaka. Stands to the right of the ball. Vargas beats his hands in the goal. It's Xhaka, and Vargas got a hand to it, but he couldn't stop it. The power from Xhaka took it through, and he roars his relief. 1-1 in the shootout.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot more than that to make Granit Xhaka nervous. The noise from the stadium was deafening, but ball down on the floor, on the penalty spot, side foot, his left, keeper's right. great hand on the penalty, but the pace was too much from Xhaka. Had every confidence that he'd stick it in the corner.
So, one apiece in the penalty shootout as Davinson Sanchez, the former Tottenham man, walks forwards. He's taken the armband with James Rodriguez off the pitch for Colombia, and he takes the responsibility. There are some fans praying in the stands as Davinson Sanchez places the ball very slowly on the spot. He kisses it first and then he places it on that white penalty spot, stares at it, takes a few steps backwards. It's a central run-up. He's on the edge of the penalty area now as Kobel bounces up and down, left to right on his line. This for Colombia to retake the lead in the shootout. It's Davinson Sanchez, and he hits the bar! He hits the bar for Colombia, and he has his hands on his knees and he looks at the ground as Switzerland substitutes break onto the pitch momentarily to celebrate. And Colombia have hit the woodwork with their second penalty of the shootout, and Dione bounces agonisingly onto the goal line, but not over the goal line. And the chance for Switzerland now to take the advantage in the shootout.
Yeah, Sanchez hits that ball so hard, it literally hits the centre of the crossbar. Hits it that hard, the ball bounces out of the box 2 or 3 times. More in hope than anything else from Sanchez, really. He didn't look confident at all.
So, Zeki Amdouni of Burnley, just back from an ACL injury before the World Cup, almost scored with his first touch after coming off the bench to give Switzerland the lead in the penalty shootout. It's Amdouni for Switzerland. Oh, it's brilliant. He just dinks it into the bottom corner. Vargas went the wrong way, and after 2 penalties apiece, it's advantage Switzerland 2-1.
Yeah, Amdouni there. I mean, it was the slowest drawback of his right foot as he draws his foot back. The commitment from the keeper goes to the keeper's right. He just slots it to the keeper's left. It does take a lot of bottle to do that, but if you've done it before and that's your way, it certainly is his. He got it absolutely perfect.
It's almost a Panenka, isn't it? Except it's not down the middle. It's just dinked into the bottom corner.
Absolutely.
So, Leandro Campaz, another who's impressed off the bench for Colombia and missed a big chance at the end of extra time to try and level things up in the shootout. Is Campaz. Oh, and it's low beneath Kobel. Driven into the bottom corner. That was a daisy cutter, and that's relief for the Colombian fans around the stadium. They're leveling the shootout, but they've taken one more penalty than Switzerland.
Yeah, Campaz just laces again, keeper's left. Just dived over it there, Kobel slightly. If he dived straight to his left on the floor, he might have got a little bit more on that, but Campaz gets away with it and they score.
So, Manuel Akanji to step forward, the next to shoulder the responsibility for the Swiss. This to put them back in front in the penalty shootout in this last 16 against Colombia. Argentina await in the quarterfinals as Akanji, with a short run-up slightly to the left of the ball, prepares himself. It's Akanji, and it's over the bar into the Colombia fans, who celebrate as Akanji drops to his knees in despair. And Switzerland have squandered their advantage in the penalty shootout. We stay level.
Akanji is not going to want to ever see that penalty back. It is one of the worst we've seen, unfortunately, at this World Cup. Doesn't go in either corner, doesn't go anywhere at all, but high and over the bar. Terrible penalty.
So, 2-2 in the penalty shootout, 3 penalties taken apiece, and the former Watford man, Cucho Hernandez, now steps forward for Colombia. Deep breath, run from the left, and it's saved by Kobel! And immediately, Switzerland strike back through their goalkeeper. It wasn't far enough into the bottom corner from Cucho Hernandez, and Switzerland have the chance to take the lead once more in the shootout.
Yeah, tries to do the keeper with the eyes, and he rolls up to the ball. Hernandez looking like he's going to put it to his right, the keeper's left, just changes his mind, and it's a lovely save. It's a comfortable save for the keeper. Lovely height. Could have almost caught it with two hands. Kept it safe.
So, Switzerland now with Cedric Itten, their striker, off the bench in this game to put them ahead once more in the shootout and to pile the pressure on Colombia. It's Itten. It's a great penalty, smashed down the middle, and Colombia now have to score to stay in the World Cup.
Yeah, good penalty from Itten there. Ball down on the floor, takes about 5 steps back. No fancy stuttering or stopping or going backwards. Side foots it down the middle of the goal. On our screens right here, we can see a Kanji with both fists clenched, as if to say, we might just get away with this. Good penalty. This is pressure. This is pressure.
And this is a man that you want for that pressure. The former Liverpool man, their star of many, but certainly a huge one. Luis Diaz for Colombia to keep them in this penalty shootout, to keep them in this World Cup. It's Luis Diaz, rolls it so calmly into the bottom corner. Kobel went the wrong way, and Diaz helps Colombia cling on here in the last 16. But now Switzerland have the chance to win it on their own terms.
Yeah, brilliant from Diaz there. Nice and slow, curls it into the corner. Keeper's left, his left, keeper's right, should I say, into the side netting in a way that only he could achieve. I mean, the pressure on these players now to hit the back of the net with no fuss is humongous.
So, Ruben Vargas for Switzerland, who was a doubt for this game. He came off the bench deep in normal time against Camilo Vargas of Colombia. This to send Switzerland through to the World Cup quarter-finals, where they would face Argentina. Deep breath from Vargas. Boos all around the stadium from the Colombia fans. It's Vargas. It's Switzerland through to the quarter-finals. Super penalty, low into the bottom corner. And as a team, together, all the Swiss players, all the substitutes, the coaching staff run to overwhelm Ruben Vargas and celebrate in the penalty area as Colombia's players fall to their knees. They are flat out. Heartbreak for them on penalties against England at the World Cup in 2018, and in their second ever penalty shootout at a World Cup. It is heartbreak once again for Colombia, but celebration and joy for Switzerland. They are through to the last 8.
Wow, no side really deserved to win the game in normal time and extra time. Penalties is an absolute lottery. Some awful penalties, some very cool penalties, but the most important one was Vargas. Cool head, sticks it in the corner. Switzerland get through. How? I don't know, but they are through. And it gets to penalties. It's a bit of a lottery.
Well, there are tears, not just tears, there are sobs from Luis Diaz, who did everything he could. He kept Colombia in it. But in the end, it is Vargas who has broken Colombian hearts. And Switzerland, who complete our quarter-final lineup at World Cup 2026. They will face Argentina in the last 8. It's not been a classic, but we got that late drama, and Switzerland got their hero, Ruben Vargas.
Dion, I would suggest the most relieved man is Manuel Akanji, who missed one when England knocked Switzerland out of the Euros a couple of years ago. He missed the first penalty, Jordan Pickford saved it, and he put that one down the tunnel, didn't he?
Yeah, it was an awful penalty. He's never going to want to see that again. I mean, they rode their luck through the game, through the extra time. Colombia played better football through the whole of the game and tried their hardest to win the game, but as I said in comms, chappers, who cares how you get through? You just got to get through. and it wasn't pretty today, but Switzerland have got through them, held their nerve, and they're all bouncing on the pitch. They're bouncing, they're double bouncing, the whole of them, staff, red shirts, and just that little streak of red shirts in the top tier chappers, they're having a good time.
And it means we now had the full quarter-final lineup. France against Morocco, England against Norway, Spain against Belgium, and Argentina against Switzerland. I'll look at that bigger picture with Tim Vickery shortly, but from a Colombia point of view, they have to wonder why they didn't go for it earlier, Tim. They have to.
Yeah, and well, the clear chances fell to them, didn't they, really? Lukumi off the bar in extra time, and Campaz through one-on-one with the goalkeeper and blazing over. There was always a need in this side to balance it out, to make sure that they didn't overcommit, and perhaps they were too cautious early on, but I think the side that was most looking to win the game through the 120 was Colombia. And let me ask you, Mark, who enjoys these penalty shootouts? I suspect that the only people who enjoy them are the ones who, when they were kids, were pulling the wings off butterflies. It's so cruel, isn't it? It's so cruel. And you look at the Colombian penalty takers, and, well, two missed. The Hernandez penalty is not bad at all. It's an incredible save by the giant Cobel. And Davinson Sanchez, his penalty is so close to being perfect. So close. It's down off the bar and onto the line. If you get it up in the top, no goalkeeper in the world is going to save it. I suppose, on the other hand, no one ever missed for hitting their penalty too low.
What do you make of Switzerland making the quarter-finals, Dion?
Surprising, because I don't think many, apart from their dressing room or their fans, would think they'd had a chance. A long shot, maybe, but as I said, chappers, you know, you can be as bad as you want to be. If you're getting the results and you're getting through, you know, who's going to say, oh, what a bad game you played against Colombia to get to the quarterfinals? No one cares. This is done now. Colombia didn't take their chance when they were on top. Colombia had better chances. The two left-footers that came on, Campaz outstanding, Quintero outstanding. I mean, Campaz one-on-one, I'm pretty sure that, you know, he thought he was going to score as well, and Tim thought he was going to score. I did. They're the chances you need to take. You cannot keep missing chances at this stage. If you don't get chances, like Switzerland, but you stay in the game, you get yourself to this situation here.
There will be people, won't there, who will say they were in the easiest group that they could possibly have been in, with Canada, Qatar and Bosnia-Herzegovina, that they had a very favourable last 32 when they played. Who did they play? Algeria. Last 32 in Algeria. But you can only beat what's in front of you. Would be the response to that, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree. But whoever was in Cape Verde's group would have thought the same thing as well. You should get by them quite easily. They were outstanding as well.
And just on the overall quarter-final lineup, that's 6 European sides, Tim Vickery. We're not far off it being a European Championship.
It is extraordinary, this, isn't it? But remember, even USA 94, when the heat was even worse because there were no air-conditioned stadiums, and the games, because European TV was more important then, the games were mostly played earlier. And all right, Brazil won it on penalties after a 0-0 draw against Italy. But third and fourth were Sweden and Bulgaria. But it is very striking, I think, how the worst sides in the World Cup now tend to be the worst Europeans. But Europe has the best sides as well. And a bigger, maybe geopolitical point, isn't it striking that while Europe is increasingly less relevant on a global scale in so many activities, in football, both club and national team spheres, it's become even more dominant. And Europe is part of the success story of Morocco as well. Almost all of the Argentina players either play in Europe or used to play in Europe. So I think that this is really, really striking.
What do you make of it, Dion? I mean, for a World Cup, there will be quite a lot of people who find it depressing.
I'm not one. I think it's.
But do you not want to see a variety in a quarter-final lineup?
Why do you want a variety? Why not just have the best teams going through? The teams that have deserved to be here, teams that have found a way to get here. If you are the best and the most desired teams in the world and you play beautiful football but you don't get through, that's your fault. Find a way to get through. If it means you have to go to penalties and beat Colombia in a woeful game to watch, and you get through, fair play to you. You've found a way to get through. It's not about the beautiful teams, it's not about the best and the biggest countries and the best players. Find a way to get to the point of the final. Who cares how you get through?
From what you've seen of Switzerland tonight, Tim, do you think they can cause Argentina problems?
Well, it's a different challenge for Argentina. I was telling you before the game that Argentina almost haven't faced European opposition since they beat France in that World Cup final. There was a warm-up game against Iceland 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was Austria in the group phase, and now there's Switzerland. They faced lots of African sides. They faced 5 just in the last 3 or 4 months. Now they've got their biggest challenge against the European side since France. But no, today Switzerland weren't overly impressive. I was thinking before this that Switzerland would probably be favourites, but I expected far more from the Swiss in this game. So, and you know, the fact that the Swiss have gone the full 120, I think Argentina are the happiest side.
Tim, thank you. Obviously, we'll talk soon. Argentina, Switzerland, the final quarter-final. Thanks for everything this tournament, Dion. Safe journey home.
Sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon, Vicky, as well. Argentina, Switzerland, then, is our final quarter-final. All 4 of them you can hear with us here on 5 Live. Our Wimbledon coverage gets back underway at 1 o'clock tomorrow. You'll hear from Novak Djokovic throughout the evening here on 5 Live. And Jai Anson is the other side of the latest BBC News as we hit midnight.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the UK and the FIFA World Cup 2026.